State what you understand by slavery and the freedom that was to be given by the President's proclamation.
Slavery is the receiving by irresistible power the work of another man, and not by his consent. This freedom, as I understand it, promised by the proclamation, is taking us from under the yoke of bondage and placing us where we can reap the fruit of our labor, take care of ourselves, and help the government maintain our freedom.
State in what manner you think you can take care of yourself, and how can you best assist the government in maintaining your freedom?
We can best take care of ourselves by having land, turn it, till it by our own labor. That is the labor of our women, children, and old men. And we can soon maintain ourselves and have something to spare. To assist the government, our young men should enlist in the service of the government and serve in such a manner as they may be wanted. But we want to be placed on land until we can buy it and make it our own.
State in what manner you would rather live, whether scattered among the whites or in colonies by yourselves.
I would prefer to live by ourselves, for there's a prejudice against us in the South that will take years to get over. But I don't know that I can answer for my brethren.
Authorities are telling us that Micah Johnson acted alone. Still, they're picking through his cell phones and his laptops in order to determine if anybody else knew what he was planning. Now, they say that he'd been scribbling in those journals you mentioned, that he had practiced bomb detonation and doing tactical drills in his backyard, all in order to become what they call a killing machine.
This morning, ABC News learning Micah Johnson had been planning an even more destructive attack on police for months.
He was amassing the capability to do more mayhem than he did on that day.
Black Lives Matter! But police say he saw that Black Lives Matter protest as a target of opportunity, one that he'd been training for, taking self-defense courses and doing tactical drills in the backyard of his middle-class home. Authorities say he even detailed some of the training and planning in a journal.
The person talked extensively about shoot and move protocols and tactics.
Shooting and moving tactics Johnson used to confuse and kill police officers.
He had a lot of magazines, and he was ready for an extended firefight.
The Army veteran was carrying a semi-automatic rifle and a handgun when he began sniping at police near El Centro College around 9 p.m. Thursday night. Dallas Police Chief David Brown telling CNN his officers were trapped in a kill zone.
We are learning some of the positions of our deceased officers, and it was, they were in a funnel, and it ended up being a fatal funnel.
Towards midnight, SWAT teams corner Johnson and negotiate with him for 2 hours.
He just basically lied to us, playing games, laughing at us, singing.
Johnson leaving a final message.
He may have been wounded as he made his way up the staircase, and he was writing in his own blood?
That appears to be the case. On the way up the staircase, he scrolled the letters RB.
Police are still investigating its meaning. At 1:30.
What is good, my people? We are live, back with another live show. What up, Erica? What up, Brother Supremacy? How y'all doing? And yo, they finally took a strike off my page, so I'm probably gonna put up some more premieres coming up soon, probably tomorrow. So you know what I'm saying, make sure y'all subscribe to the backup page, because you know, who knows what they'll give me a strike for. They might give me a strike for this video, who knows. Yo, what up, JB? What up, my brother? How y'all doing, man? Brother Bakari, what's going on? And I'm gonna put the link in the chat, but you know, we gonna talk about a couple of things because I got a couple of screen shares that I want to show y'all, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of want to get y'all reaction to it. Micah, how you doing? I'm glad you made it. So I'm gonna put it in the chat, but first thing I'm gonna do is this like the last day of Black History or whatever, and I'm probably gonna keep doing it, you know what I'm saying, as time go. But I do want to read a couple of names and like show y'all some people. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, but you know, I'm gonna the first thing I'm gonna do is show y'all a couple of people that I want to you know, highlight just for Black History Month. All right. Now so matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all some of these people. So I'm gonna share the screen. So if you come on, you can come on, but I can't see it right now. All right. All right. So this is the first person, a brother named William Still. He was born free, but he became an abolitionist, you know what I'm saying? He was a writer during slavery, you know what I'm saying? And of course he was trying to you know, free the people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He is best known for his self-publishing his own books, The Underground Railroad, where he documented stories of formerly enslaved Africans who gained their freedom by escaping bondage. He was an abolitionist movement leader, assisted hundreds of slaves escape, and after a 40-year search, he located his brother and helped him escape to freedom. He was one of the organizers and financiers of the Pennsylvania Civil, Social, and Statistical Association that collected data on free men and women. So people like him helped us be able to track our ancestors, you know what I'm saying, by getting information on us and keeping it because they was not really doing that, you know what I'm saying, like keeping the right information, right? So this was another sister right here, Harriet Gibbs Marshall, you know what I'm saying? She was a she opened up a music school in Washington D.C. for young Black children, you know what I'm saying? She was a pianist and a writer, and you know, she helped a lot of young Black kids get into music. And I'm sure y'all I'm not sure if y'all heard of Zora Neale Hurston. We had to do a project on her in school, you know what I'm saying? She was an artist, you know what I'm saying? She was an author and a filmmaker and stuff. So yeah, y'all should probably look her up. Now, Solomon Carter Fuller, this was another brother, and apparently he was the first known or recognized psychiatrist in America. And he was one of the people who helped discover what Alzheimer's disease, you know what I'm saying? Now, they named it after the white dude, you know what I'm saying? And of course, they're going to give him credit, but this brother was one of the main figures in that, you know what I'm saying? Now, this sister right here, I want to read the story about what happened to her real quick. Minnie M Cox, you know what I'm saying? She was a teacher and she became the first Black postmaster in Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wanted y'all to see this sister. But what's going on, Rasheed Holmes? But yeah, Minnie M Cox became the first Black woman appointed as postmaster. During her tenure, she was the first postmaster to have a phone installed in her office. She paid for it out of her own pocket, so residents can check if they have mail without having to come down there. So she was the first one to do that. But a lot of white people was mad that a Black woman was in a prestigious position like postmaster, and they didn't want Black people to have better jobs than them, and certainly no political jobs, you know what I'm saying? So when a politician named James K. Vardaman ran for governor in 1902, he made Minnie's tenure as postmaster an issue. He called for her to be removed, and white people demanded that she resign within a year. Now, she made it clear that she wasn't going to resign, but she said she wasn't going to run after her term was over. You know what I'm saying? But they started threatening her and her family with violence, so she decided. But you know, Franklin Roosevelt, he refused to accept her resignation before her term was over, but he also didn't send federal troops to protect her. And so he just closed the post office until her term was over. But anyway, when her family came back to Mississippi or whatever, Minnie and her husband, Wellington Cox, established the Delta Penny Savings Bank, the first black-owned bank in Mississippi. They also founded the Mississippi Life Insurance Company. It was one of the first black-owned insurance companies, and they strongly supported black businesses in the state. After she got kicked out of office, though, it became a national story because it wasn't just like they were just walking around murdering us. No, they was the people like they get mad just like we do. You know what I'm saying? History repeats itself over and over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like what else I'm gonna show you? Yeah, and one more thing I want to show you, and I want to show you my screen so I can show you these brothers. And because my brother God mentioned it the other day, so I wanted to show y'all about this rebellion that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because people think it was all, you know what I'm saying, we was just laying down. So let me share the screen. All right, now this brother, he got the name Bacaro. I'm not gonna lie, I can't say what his name was. You know what I'm saying? But he was a spiritual leader, and he was one of the leaders in this rebellion. Now, this was the chief, Nahal and Pinga. I mean, I'm butchering their names, you know what I'm saying? But he was the chief, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to show y'all these two brothers. And I'm going to read to y'all real quick, you know what I'm saying? So some say the first genocide in the 20th century, because by the way, this goes back to that Whoopi Goldberg thing in those camps and stuff like that. So, I want to talk about the concentration camps that was before what happened over there in Germany. So some say the first genocide of the 20th century happened in German West Africa or modern day Namibia. When the Germans arrived, they used the people for labor. They constantly stole their land and property, and by 1903, Germans took more than a quarter of the land. The natives were forced to move into shanty towns, and the Germans were raping so many women that they started making cartoon strips about it. Now, the people did fight back under the chief I just showed you. It was another chief, Chief Samuel. Within the first few days, more than 100 Europeans were slaughtered. By the end, they killed 150 Germans and 7 Boers. Their army surrounded them, and he issued a manifest. This the thing about black people, right? Like he issued a manifesto for his troops and forbidding his troops from killing Englishmen, Boers, German missionaries, women, children, or any Europeans who weren't involved. So they only had smoke for the people who had smoke for them. You know what I'm saying? They gave everybody else a chance. Because that's just what black people do. But of course, it was more uprisings and stuff like that. So let me skip down. So now Chief Nahal was known for his strong anti-colonial stance and his victory over the Boers in 1886. His military attacked Fort whatever with 500 men, and the Germans were forced to retreat. Although many of the people weren't involved, the Germans wanted to make the entire nation pay for their loss. So the governor, Lothar van Trotta, he called in reinforcements, and they came in over like 14,000 troops. But by then, like it all had all stopped. They weren't fighting for months. So, he made the people pledge loyalty to Germany, and most of the rebels just kept their distance. But he planned to use violence to destroy the whole nation anyway. And he said, my intimate knowledge of many Central African nations like the Bantu has convinced me that the Negro does not respect treaties, but only brute force. So this is what they're saying, tough on crime, So German propaganda depicted the people as savages who raped white women and who killed children. They called for the annihilation of an entire tribe. The people thought the war was over and avoided all contact with the Germans, and they were planning to negotiate. But the Germans were building their army and shipping in hundreds of troops and supplies. So they was acting like it was all cool while they was stacking themselves up. And when they had enough troops to attack, he ordered an attack on the people. They were armed with machine guns and cannons and other heavy artillery, and they planned to commit genocide. And the people were unprepared to fight. So they killed anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 people just in one battle, and most of the people escaped to the desert, but they was ordered to kill every man, woman, and child who was still in the area, and they brutally executed everybody, you know what I'm saying, including children. And they chased them in the desert for months until they couldn't go no more. And then they set up boundaries on the end. And the people who surrendered, they viciously raped the women all the time, then exiled them into the desert to die. And eventually the governor issued an extermination order to kill all the people within German borders. The order was rescinded after a few months, but most of the survivors were put into concentration camps like Shark Island. These camps were the original blueprint of what Germany used during the Jewish Holocaust. Thousands of people were enslaved and worked to death. They were separated into groups who were fit to work and groups who weren't. And the ones who were unfit to work were quickly put to death. And so many people were dying from diseases. And nearly 80% of the um, population was wiped out. And according to reports, 20 people were dying at Shark Island every day. German scientists also used the people for medical experiments, which helped shape their eugenics movement, because this was around the time of eugenics. So they collected the skulls of the people and they killed them and they took them. But a lot of times they experimented on their bodies before they died, because they wanted to see how they would react when they inject them with arsenic and opium. And they use pseudoscience to justify it. And so they fought back, and the story keep going. But yeah, like I'm gonna skip to the end. You know what I'm saying? The Germans burned all their crops, destroyed all their food sources. They ruined so much of the land, it caused a famine that still affect the area to this day. Some people surrendered, but most of them were executed. Some estimate over 75,000 people were killed, and another 250,000 died as a result of the famine. All right, so I just wanted to get into that. Yo, what's going on, Bakar?
What's
Yo,
good, forecast? What's going on?
what up, my brother? What up, Bill Gates? How you doing, Lightbearer, Brandon? Yeah, facts, Erica.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk a little bit about that later too, Erica, because we're gonna get into the topic. I just wanted to do some Black history stuff because this might be the last day that I'm on here for Black. I don't know if I'm gonna be on here tomorrow, so you know. But yeah, what's going on, my brother?
Shit, chilling. What's going on, everybody in the chat? How y'all doing? Shit, man, I'm chilling. A little tired from the road, but other than that,
Oh yeah,
I'm
man. How
good.
was your trip, bro?
Shit, now, man, we had a good time, man. Got to spend time with family, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was good. Everything was everything, man. When we went down there.
That's what's up.
I
That's what's up.
I enjoyed my time. I hadn't seen my brothers in a minute. I probably hadn't been down there in about 6 months, I guess. 7 months, I guess. But yeah, I enjoy myself. The problem with going home is when I go home, I don't ever want to come back. I don't want to leave. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, I feel you
That's
on
the
that.
problem, man. Hey, I was listening to what you were saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you say when the Africans had a chance, they wouldn't kill everybody?
Yep, that's what they said.
A downfall of black people to this day. They want to see humanity in people who don't see anything in them. Man, you got to kill everybody. The little stanky, snotty nosed babies, the ones with their little shitty pamper, 85 years old, 90 years old. It don't make a difference. You have to be willing to do to people until African people understand how violent the rest of the world is. Truly understand it. We will never be able to combat it and get out of this situation that we're in. Because the whole world is violent. The whole world is violent to black people. The whole world. And black people want to be everybody's friend. They are searching for humanity in people. We are looking for humanity. Ain't none. Ain't no humanity in those folks. They don't see you. They don't even see you as human. Yep. You right, Brendan Bass. That's what we should have done. They don't even, the rest of the world don't even see us as human. We are the laughing stock of the human species, the Homo sapiens, Africans. We are the laughing stock of the human species. And we sit back and we continue to allow it to happen. I know you say you're going to get into this, but when Erica's put in the chat, she don't feel sorry for the people in Ukraine. Me neither. I don't feel sorry. That's big Russia fighting little Russia. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Why the hell would I feel sorry for them? You see how they holding their damn Africans at gunpoint on the border of Poland, won't let them cross in. The people in Ukraine won't let them get on the train, won't even let them get on the train to leave. And we supposed to care? That's one of our problems. We care, and the biggest thing, we care about those people more than we care about ourselves. You understand? We care about them when we, yes, this white on white crime, international, you can go on back. World War III, World War II, shit, the war in the Middle East, when they went over there looking for Saddam Hussein, I know some black folks took sides in that, talking about Saddam Hussein, and they taking sides. Shit, when they got Gaddafi, I didn't give a damn about none of them Arabs either. Fuck, pardon my French on your channel. To hell with Gaddafi too. All of them. None of them are our friends. If they can be used, you use them. But they are not your friends. We are the ones that's constantly used. They use us to boost their economy. They use us to get, I'm talking about everybody. When I'm saying they, because I'm going to let everybody know. When I'm saying they, I ain't just talking about white folk. I don't just talk about white folks. It's all of them. Because if you ain't black, you're white. That's all of them. Not just the European, as some people may want to say. It's everybody. It's Africa versus the world. It's Africans versus the world. And right now, we're looking at big brother Russia trying to destroy little brother Ukraine. Unless little brother Ukraine decide to get in line. The only thing I can say about this is, what can I get from it? I can't. What can I physically gain from this? Nothing. I sit back and watch and don't get involved because it's not my fight. But that's what I got to say. Go ahead, man. I had a call from my brother. I had some family stuff. I'm on. I got to call him right back. Go ahead. I'm gonna listen though.
All right. But yeah, because Bakari, what you said is true. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, right? Like, can you really call it a world war? A world war? You know what I'm saying? If we ain't even in it, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into it later. Because my thing is, I don't even think it's been no world wars yet. You know what I'm saying? But you know, when it comes down to it, like you were saying, the story that I was just reading and how people surrendered and stuff like, well, not surrender, but showed mercy on their enemies. Like they said, they had them surrounded, dead to rights. You know what I'm saying? They said, don't kill the women, don't kill the children, don't kill the mercenaries, don't kill nobody who not involved. And it backfired on them because they killed everybody. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time they was planning to kill everybody because they don't separate the people. And Bakari, I know like we be getting into that spooked out stuff because one part that I skipped, right, was like the rebellion part. And the brother who took the name Bocaro, he said he knew of a sacred liquid that could repel German bullets called Maji Maji. The liquid was just water mixed with castor oil and millet seeds, but he gave it to the people and their confidence to fight back grew. They doused their spears and arrows with maji water before they attacked. And they started by targeting small German outposts and cotton fields. The rebels freed and recruited soldiers, and their movement gained momentum. More than 20 different tribes united to defeat the Germans, and their numbers grew to about 10,000. They used guerrilla warfare tactics and surprise attacks. Although Boccaro was captured and put to death by hanging, the people saw him as a martyr. His brother took over as leader, and they continued to fight. The Maji warriors managed to kill 4 German bishops. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody look up the Maji War, you know what I'm saying? So, and I understand people got that spooked out stuff, but in their case, it worked, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so by the way, but all that stuff kind of leads up to it, because like you mentioned it, we have no friends. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the first screen share, because I came across some that was an update, and I'm not sure if y'all remember that therapist that got shot with his hands up in the middle of the street, laying there saying, "Please don't shoot." The guy is mentally ill, playing with a toy car. Well, I'm pretty sure y'all celebrate these victories when they get quote unquote convicted in court. But, just to refresh our memory, let me play this video about what happened.
That was in Florida, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was down by Miami. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't skip it, but
It's like, please don't shoot me. But why they shot the black boy and not the fat boy?
yeah, so it's a good question why they shoot the black boy. But yeah, so any of y'all remember that the cop quote unquote got convicted for this, but not for like, not doing his job. Just, they had to do something because they made an outrage. But there's been a update in the case, so let me play this.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jackie Nesro.
And I'm Jawan Shida. The case got worldwide attention, and Jonathan Aleda became the first officer in 3 decades in Miami-Dade to be charged in an on-duty shooting.
NBC6 investigator Willard Shepard is live in North Miami, where it all happened. Willard?
Yeah, that's right, Jackie. This all unfolded on the street here behind me back in July of 2016. Now the appeals court says that former officer Aleda should have been able to have his supervisor testify at the trial. It didn't happen, so his conviction is out. This was the video that went around the globe. Behavioral therapist Charles Kinsey lying in the street with his hands up, and Arnaldo Rios Soto sitting next to him holding a toy truck. One officer, SWAT team member Jonathan Aleda, thought it was a gun, and Kinsey was being held hostage. That's what Aleda told jurors.
I would see glimpses of the sun coming off of the object, which I believe to be a gun, and he had it always concealed.
Aleda went to trial twice. The juries couldn't decide.
Oh, he did the fake cry too, Bakari. You see that?
On the most serious charge, attempted manslaughter, but he was ultimately convicted of a misdemeanor, culpable negligence, for shooting Kinsey.
My life got turned upside down.
Wednesday, the 3rd District Court of Appeals overturned the conviction. The trial court's refusal to allow Assistant Police Chief Rivera to testify as to Aleda's SWAT training regarding hostage procedures has merit and requires us to reverse Aleda's conviction. The court also ruled he gets a new trial. Aleda's attorney is Eric Schwartzwright.
It's been a long time for Mr. Aleda, and he's very pleased. We're hoping that this is going to end with the state either dropping the charges or alternatively, Mr. Aleda being found not guilty. Culpable negligence, the misdemeanor he was convicted of, the appellate court said that they should have allowed into evidence his training, his SWAT training, as to why Mr. Aleda or Officer Aleda did what he did that day.
It's okay. It's okay.
Arnaldo Rios Soto ended up living near Orlando, and the NBC6 investigators followed how his attorney alleged of unfair efforts to have him removed from a group home there. Today, his lawyer, Matt Dietz, reacted to Aleda's conviction being overturned.
Overall, we understand the decision, but we're very disappointed by it. Essentially, there are actions that are natural for people that are autistic. Like in this case, Arnaldo Rios was stimming back and forth and sitting cross-legged on the street holding a toy truck. To contemplate that different training would have said shooting him because he exhibited those behaviors is extremely troubling.
All right, so there you have it, Bakari. Those other oppressed peoples around the world. Yeah, just a misdemeanor in the first place, Erica. Not even not even a felony or nothing like that. So he was one of the oppressed people, Bakari, the first cop in 30 years to be charged with a misdemeanor, like Erica said. But they reversed it, and you know why they reversed it? Because they was like, the chief didn't go to court and train and tell him that his training tells him to do this. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much because his commanding officer ain't go up there and say, yeah, we're trained to shoot people who's laid out in the street with their hands up, you know what I'm saying, yelling that this kid is autistic. This is good enough reason to overturn his conviction and therefore give him a new trial. And of course the other dudes are like, well, yeah, we understand. But do you understand, Bakari?
Well, in all honesty, I'm going to be fair. No, I don't understand. No, why he ain't in prison. But hey, once again, when it come to me, you know what I always say. It's time to start fighting these bastards back. I'm gonna say it like that. It's a certain way I got to say it on here, right? But it's time to start going at them, if that makes sense, right? Only if it makes sense to you. You have to start going at them. That's what we got to do. Why is it people can always do something to us? They can always do something to us, right? But nothing ever is done to them. Ever. And the sad thing is, man, even when we talk about this, when I mention this, that's what a lot of people don't want to talk about in my conversations. What are we going to do? It's time to get suited and booted. It's time to start training. It's time to start making sure that you're taking care. Like when I mentioned about what happened at the border with the Africans, right? With our brothers and sisters over there from the continent, right? So then you can look at this, even though this is a couple years old, right? So now that is a couple years old, and just a month ago, I was inside the Walmart, right? And I saw about 5 of them folks in militia with their hat and their t-shirt on. I think they had their little side piece on the side, and I had mine with me. The only way this is gonna stop is if we got to stop it. You can't be trying to appeal to someone's moral side who doesn't have a moral side when it comes to you, when they don't care about you. The only thing they truly care about when it comes to you is making sure that we are harmed in every which way. Beat, shoot, kill, beat, shoot, choke, lynch, it doesn't make a difference. The goal is to make sure we're gotten rid of. We're no longer around. So when are we going to learn that our only way out of this oppression, the only way that we are out of this subjugation, the only way this will ever stop is if we stop it. If we stop it. Unite and organize. That's what we have to do. We can't just say we're going to unite and come together. We have to unite and organize. That's our biggest thing. Unite and organize.
Hey, Bakari, not to cut you off, but you mean unite with all the oppressed peoples around the world?
No, unite with black folk. Unite with African folk. Unite with folks who proud to be who they are. You understand? Who want to see things get better. Unite with people who's willing to do the work in the streets, not just on YouTube. Because if you just stay focused on YouTube, I'm not saying there's nothing that can't be done or that we don't need to do on YouTube, right? But what I am saying, we have to get in the streets. We have to get out here. We talk about what other people is doing, and we talk about people in religions, and we talk about how they are able to get certain things. And they are not concerned about doing anything for us. It's because they're outworking us. We see stuff like this, and I'm gonna be honest, man, I get angry. I'm human, yes, I get angry. I get real angry at this. And that's just the truth. I get really angry at this when I see stuff like this. And I get angry when I see how we carry on when it comes to this. So I'm going to always ask the same question. What are we willing to do to get the things that we need, to get liberation, to get freedom? Are we going to continue with the same stupid bickering, infighting? Not saying that it's not going to ever happen. Are we going to continue with that? Or are we going to step to the plate and say it's time to make a change? Stop trying to change other people and change ourselves, because we can't change them. We cannot change them, but we can most definitely change ourselves, right? So when are we going to stop trying to reach out to other people's moral side to change them? And look in the mirror and change the way that we handle certain situations. And I'll yield the mic.
Yeah, and Bakari, you brought up something. I was gonna say it at the end, but I'm gonna say it now too. Because I'm gonna put your email, my email, and the group email in the chat, you know what I'm saying? And like we really gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, do something, you know, around the springtime towards the summertime, you know, in a couple of months, you know what I'm saying? So anybody who's like serious, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna talk, see where everybody's at, you know what I'm saying, come up with a good location for us to all, you know what I'm saying, just to meet up, you know what I'm saying, maybe have something to eat, you know what I'm saying, just something, you know what I'm saying, where we can actually meet in person and have actual real conversations about things that we can do together right now, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, but we're gonna get to that at the end, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's a good point though, my brother. But Bakari, I disagree with you, my brother. We don't have to do nothing because we got groups like Black Lives Matter, my brother. They out there fighting for us. So, you know what I'm saying? What you think about that? Bakari?
My thing on mute and I'm talking. They're out buying big houses and stuff while they fight. You know, Black Lives Matter is something that's a slogan I said I would never say. Nobody will ever hear me chant Black Lives Matter. And I can tell you why. Even though I went out with my son one time to march with him in support of him with the Black Lives Matter, in support of him and these high school students here that went out and did Black Lives Matter, right? In support of them, I did it, right? But who are we trying to convince that our life matter? Who? Who are we trying to convince that our life matter? Because if we really felt Black Lives Matter, I'm talking about us, right? If we truly felt that Black Lives Matter, we wouldn't let nobody do the thing to us that they can do and get away with. We would not. We would not let them do it and get away with it. If our life matter, it would matter to us. They wouldn't be able to shoot that man and get misdemeanor and not worry about any you know the word I'm trying to, repercussions. They just wouldn't be able to. And that's a fact. I yield the mic.
Yeah, that's it. That is a fact, my brother. And cause I don't know if y'all remember, like one day this white dude, and I think the other white dude had sent him, you know what I'm saying? But he just came up on the panel. I forget his name, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know who he was. Then he came on the screen and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm Black Lives Matter activist." And then so I asked some questions about Black Lives Matter. And then they start separating themselves when they start getting to certain questions, like when we start talking about where that money going that everybody complaining about. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not a part of Black Lives Matter now. I just run my own organization. And that's another thing about how they get paid off of our suffering by trying to control not only like the video clips and writings and all of this kind of stuff. They literally, like, when you go back and try to read about all of these events individually, specifically, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of them are white authors who try to trademark and copyright our history. But, of course, when I was asking the dude about Black Lives Matter, oh yeah, well, I'm down with the organization when we out there picketing in the street, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the money, I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if y'all said, and Lightbearer already put it in the chat, but recently Black Lives Matter just got caught up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play a couple of videos real quick. And I'm gonna just play some of it.
Welcome back. Time for the Hot Topic Buzz. The Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation hiring the Clinton campaign lawyer who commissioned the infamous Steele dossier to sort the group's murky finances. The move comes as the foundation is suspended from Amazon's charity website, Amazon Smile, over the group's failure to meet rules of compliance. The foundation was forced to shut down all of its online fundraising earlier this month over delinquent financial disclosures from 2020. Nancy, your thoughts on this partnership?
Yeah, the infamous lawyer who's sorting out the infamous financials by changing from a calendar year accounting system to fiscal year so that they don't have to produce 6 months of financials for the last year. I think this is going to be a scandal that will continue to rise above the headlines, and that's going to be problematic. Even the Black community is clamoring for funds to be distributed, and those who have lost loved ones through violence are asking for the money to be distributed into the community. And we have a disgraced CEO who was on a real estate spending binge, who has left the company rudderless, or the foundation rudderless. So I just think this is shameful and scandalous.
And because it is, James, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would say it looks like the lawyers are going to have to earn their money on this one. California, I think it's fair to say they're not politically, the government of California is not politically eager to go after an organization like this one. And yet we see the attorney general there sending a letter basically threatening the group's tax exempt status, saying they're delinquent on their annual disclosures that are required in California. Amazon obviously sees them not reporting or out of compliance in a number of states. So there should be more scrutiny of this organization.
All right, so there you have it. Black Lives Matter, backed by Amazon. They finally dropped them. You know what I'm saying? But yo, we're not falling for the same things. Like, you know, they're not that creative. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, they created the NAACP and then always kept a white dude, even though they would say, you know, Jews is not a race. So they kept a shyster up at the top as president. You know what I'm saying? And we see the effects that has had. And by 1945, black people was like, I don't want nothing to do with no NAACP, but they do the same things over and over, where they have these organizations, which is another thing, because like, how can a hashtag go from that to a corporation, pretty much? You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I've never met a black person who's a part of Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? But apparently now they're missing $60 million. So like, and I'm sure it wasn't all black people donating, so you know, who cares about their money? But $60 million is gone. You know what I'm saying? And guess who they hired to do the finances? So
From Black Lives Matter have found close allies of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton getting involved in the charity. That's according to new reporting from the Washington Examiner. Lawyer Mark Elias, who served on the 2016 Clinton campaign and also funded the infamous Steele dossier, is representing the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, and Minnie Moore, a longtime ally.
Black Lives Matter didn't even get a black lawyer. Like, they could hire that dude Lee Merritt, I guess, who's like the new Ben Crump.
Of the Clinton family is now listed as part of B.L.M.'s board of directors in the charity's filings. And this is obviously, you know, coming in the wake of news about some real financial issues, serious financial issues. I talked about them on a radar maybe last week. It appears that the original Black Lives Matter people who were involved with the charity that took in all this millions of dollars last summer, the summer of protests. Patrice Cullors is one of the original Black Lives Matter founders of the hashtag, involved in the foundation, and she's kind of just disappeared after that reporting about acquiring all these houses, $1 million houses, and then she's no longer involved in the board. And then the people they brought in to manage this giant pile of money that they're just sitting on, they hired these people. They announced they'd hired these people, and then months later, these people said, yeah, we didn't end up taking the job. So it's not clear who's in charge. Now I guess it's Hillary Clinton, her supporters, her advisors.
And yeah, Minnie Moore is known in Washington as one of the most accomplished kind of political operatives, like a very establishment operative who is just good at doing things. Like, you know, there are people who rise in politics just for their basic competence and their skill at like. And that's not a moral judgment one way.
All right, they's just hating on Democrats, but they said something.
Guys, it's probably gotten pretty bad. If you need to bring in this level of expertise, this level of rehabilitation, it's probably gotten bad.
Right, and also it's not cheap.
They're not cheap. No.
Minnie Moore is going to be well compensated in general for her services. Maybe she took this on in pro bono. Like that could certainly be possible. Mm-hmm. She could say, you know what, I'm an ardent supporter of Black Lives Matter movement. I'm gonna do this as a cause that I believe in. That's certainly possible.
Sure.
But when you're going for one of the top guns in the city, yeah, you needed help.
Yeah.
So now we should.
In a variety of situations who are like, hey, can this national organization help me organize an anti-white supremacy rally? And they'd be like, no, we're not going to do that.
Right. And the Minnie Moore case is interesting here because there's no question that her own views on racial justice and civil rights are unimpeachable. Strong supporter of all of those things. But there's also no confusion about where she sits on the political spectrum. She is a member of the party establishment, a proud member of the party establishment. And so you have a radical organization that is trying to overthrow, many of them will say they're trying to overthrow the system of capitalism itself.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
But
capitalism, aka some would call it white supremacy, or whatever you want to call it.
Now they've amassed so much money, they need somebody to help them figure out how to not break laws, because there are tons of laws on the books about how nonprofit money can be handled. And so now they have an establishment figure helping them marshal this. And so that's going to undermine your ability to overthrow capitalism. If you have, Hillary Clinton, establishment figures who are now involved in the running of the operation. So
I mean, they were a ways away from overthrowing capitalism.
Right. And so Hillary Clinton.
All right, so yeah, the rest of it is just them hating on Democrats, which is irrelevant or whatever. But there you have it. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter, the person who they decided to get to run their finances after they get caught up is the great Hillary Clinton, who went over to Haiti and destroyed all of that kind of stuff. But whatever, So, I mean, you tell me if that's a black organization or not. You know what I'm saying? But what's up, Brother Bakari?
Black Lives Matter, man. It got to be a black organization. It say Black Lives Matter. They got Hillary, like you said. They went to Hillary and who done stole everything. What you said, and you even showed they didn't get a Black Lives Matter. Don't even get a black lawyer. But you know what? It was a way to scheme. It was a slogan. You see black people get killed, and like I said, man, the biggest economic stimulus package in the black community used to be income tax. You could see income tax time, people was balling. Never do the right thing. I ain't gonna say nobody, but you could tell, right, when income tax was around, right? Now the biggest economic stimulus package is the death of a black person. Not only do they get our money while we here living, one of us get murdered by a crooked cop, one of us, or something like that happened, and they put it all over television, right? Now they get our money, purchasing a shirt with somebody's name on it, with somebody's hat on it, purchasing something saying Black Lives Matter.
Making money off our blood.
Make money, yes. And that's what this country has always done. And when I say this about Black Lives Matter, a lot of people don't understand. They say the slogan mean a lot. But I never say this, because who are we trying to get to understand that our life matter? If our life matter, we would be more prepared for the things that is constantly happening. We would have been more prepared when the pandemic hit. We would be more prepared for what's really about to happen because of Little Russia versus Big Russia, right? We would be more prepared where we wouldn't just sit and complain. Look what they gave to the Afghans. The Asians got a bill. Then they just got 10 million too in New York. The Asians got a bill. The Asians got this. They gave this to this. They gave that to that. They giving the little Guadalupes at the border. They gonna get 450K. Newsflash. Them white folks from Ukraine, them little Russians, they ready to come here and get some money too. Y'all don't believe that, do you? If you don't believe it, go back and look through the Bosnian conflict and look how much money and look what they did for the Bosnians when they came here.
That's a fact, Bakari.
But we're still holding on saying reparations. So we gonna fight each other because we scared of the big bad wolf. We scared of the so-called white supremacists. I don't use that term. No one is supreme to me. And I know people say, well, it ain't about being supreme to you. Well, every word have a meaning. And when you say the white supremacists, the white supreme people, you understand? Or when you say, then we say we got the teaching from Neely Fuller Jr. Well, tell this whole teaching. If you listen to and learn his whole teaching, he say he called them white supremacists because they are the superior people. So we are scared to attack what's supposed to be so-called supreme. We are afraid of that. So we attack one another. We'll stand up and talk about that. We don't have no xenophobic attacks for so-called white supremacy, though. Forecast how many xenophobic attacks did you hear talking about those white militias? Not xenophobic, because that wouldn't have been you attacking your own. But how much hate did you hear come toward the white militias?
Not too much. I mean, I seen some black militias, but
No,
not
no,
too
no.
much.
I said, how many people on YouTube, these same people with
Oh,
the xenophobic rhetoric,
no, not too much.
how much hate speech did you hear coming toward them?
Well, we can't do that, Bakari. It might get a strike.
Huh?
Now I said we can't do that. We might get a strike on our channel.
Exactly. Ain't gonna say nothing about nobody else, but they're the white supremacists. They're superior. I believe in African supremacy. That's what I am. I'm American by force. I'm African by blood. I'm not going to disrespect my ancestors. I'm not going to start screaming, I'm something else, to try to fit in and hope eventually they'll like me. No, I don't care if they like me. They're going to respect me. But first and foremost, yes, we live every day, Jose Brown, behind enemy lines. And you know what? I can't. Look, I just bought a book. We went through it the other night in the forecast. Let me tell y'all the name of this book, because I'm going to crack it open again, not tonight. It's called, the name of the book is Addicted to White, the Oppressed, Living with the Oppressor, a Shameful Alliance. Just listen to the name of that book. And yes, it was written by a black man, and he was talking about how black people try to align themselves with white folks, their white values, and try to do all that. Addicted to White, the Oppressed Living with the Oppressor, a Shameful Alliance. Just think about the name of that book, and you will understand what African Americans, American born Africans, is going through. African Americans is going through. That's why you find these ADOS and FBAs and Aboriginals and all these other groups. They are trying to be connected to something that don't even like them. We want, because everything has become the black immigrants' fault. Huh? Everything has become the black immigrant fault. You understand? Everything. Because we're scared to say something about the superior people. I hear the mic.
Bakari,
Hold on, it is good. Let me say this. I just went through, you should watch the show. When that was, Friday night or Saturday night forecast? Friday night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you should check that out. We went through we went through 5 of the white values that's in the book. Go ahead, forecast.
I don't know, Bakari. You tripping. Hillary Clinton had hot sauce in her bag, so she's invited to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, my brother.
Hey, she did the 2-step with Roland Martin too.
Yeah, where's hug at, I guess. But yeah, Bakari, do y'all remember what happened? Like, cause they wasn't always for Black Lives Matter. In fact, during the election, Joe Biden said, "Oh, I'm for police. I'm not with Joe. I'm not with Black Lives Matter. I'm tough on crime. You know what I'm saying? He is 94 crime bill Joe. You know what I'm saying? Good old Joe. But do y'all remember Hillary Clinton's and the Clintons' reaction to that? So I want to show y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? What happened when back in the day when she thought she was gonna be president, and how they ran up on her. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all remember when they confronted her at the fundraiser?
I remember that young lady confronted her.
Yeah, it wouldn't play it, but I'm not gonna play it anyway. So, but yeah, they was talking about the 94 crime bill.
When it comes to cybersecurity,
hey, what's the name of it? I'll find it and see if I can play it another way. Then that way you ain't got to
I can probably click on it right here, but
you don't want to get no strike on your channel. They just took you out of YouTube jail, man. I don't want you to go back to jail.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna go anyway. But I can't go to jail. We got Ben coming up with his channel, so we good. But yeah, so anyway, she was like, you know, she just tried to make it like, yo, I wasn't just saying that, you know, because they was calling her on that super predator stuff. You know what I'm saying? She said, we have to bring them to heel. You remember that, you know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, Bakari, you remember when they had that exchange?
Talking about that young black lady who started questioning Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't for Black Lives Matter then.
Of course not.
Mm-mm. So let's see how good old Bill responded to it.
What she's referring to are the increased sentencing provisions of the 1994 crime bill. 90% of the people in prison too long are in state prisons and local jails, more than 90%. But it's also true that there are too many people in the state prisons. I mean, the federal prisons. President Obama's trying to let them out. Here's what happened. Let's just tell the whole story.
Niggas say, yeah, all of them there. But yeah, of course, there are a lot of people there too. But yeah, Obama doing that. So
Here's what happened. Let's just tell the whole story. When I became president, the headlines in the newspapers were full of, now wait a minute, I listen to you, you listen to me. Oh, wait.
hey, the white people like, hell yeah, get them Negroes in line.
Here's what happened. Vice President Biden, you guys know Vice President.
Hey, I want to hear it again. Rewind to make sure I got everything right.
Okay.
The headlines in the newspapers were full of, now wait a minute, I listen to you, you listen to me. Oh, wait. Here's what happened. Vice President Biden, you guys know Vice President Biden. His family comes from Scranton. He was the chairman of the committee that had jurisdiction over this crime bill. I had an assault weapons ban in it. I had money for inner city kids for out of school activities. We had 110,000 police officers so we could put people on the street, not in these military vehicles, and the police would look like the people they were policing. We did all that. And Biden said, you can't pass this bill, the Republicans will kill it if you don't put more sentencing in.
So you heard that. He said, we did all of these things, but, you know, that one didn't pass. It's just the one with the sentencing in it.
And Biden said, you can't pass this bill, the Republicans will kill it if you don't put more sentencing in. I talked to a lot of African-American groups. They thought Black Lives Matter. They said, take this bill because our kids are being shot in the street by gangs. We have 13-year-old kids planning their own funerals. She don't want to hear any of that. You know what else she doesn't want to hear? Because of that bill, we had a 25-year low in crime, a 33 low in the murder rate. And listen to this. Because of that and the background check law, we had a 46-year low in the deaths of people by gun violence. And who you think those lives were? That mattered. Whose lives were saved? That mattered.
Now, I probably should have had the other video where because this is the same dude right here who made his claim to fame after going after Sister Soldier, because black people was wilding out in LA after they killed us unarmed sister and nothing happened, and the people was rioting on the streets, and Sister Soldier was speaking up for the people, and he made his claim to fame going after Sister Soldier. And I probably should have had that speech too, but you know, this is that was the same, that was around that same time.
That's
so
the first black, hold on. I can't let you get away with that forecast. That's the first black president right there. He's in the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. I'm not gonna let you do that forecast. Nope, you got the back. You got to. He's in the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
you got to. You got to apologize, forecast.
I forgot. I didn't see a saxophone in that one, so I forgot. I was tripping.
And you didn't hear him talking about using his cigar with Monica Lewinsky either, right?
You say what?
You didn't hear him talking about using his cigar with Monica Lewinsky either, right?
He ain't do nothing with that woman.
He hit the chronic, but he didn't inhale.
Hey, but you know, black crime, right? You know what I'm saying? And he tried to blame, you see how he tried to throw it on Joe Biden too, real quick, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when Biden was running for president, you know, well, it was Biden, well, Hillary Clinton. Like, well, it was Biden's fault for real. I wanted all this stuff that never happened, And he said, no, we need to tough on crime. So I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? That was what he said, you know what I'm saying, to Black Lives Matter. So you want to say something before I go to the next one?
No, go to the next one.
All right, it's just the article right here. It's how the Democratic Party hijacked Black Lives Matter. Now, did they hijack it or did they create it? Because if anyone knows about the art of war and all of that stuff, you know, you create your enemies leaders, you create your enemies organizations, and you can always control them, you know what I'm saying? So they start off with a quote by Malcolm X about the white liberal, and we heard about all of that. You know, basically it's just talking about you know, how Joe Biden, how he was against segregation, and I kind of actually agree with him on that. I don't want to go to this school with his crackhead son, you know what I'm saying? I want them away from my mom and my children, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it's just talking about white liberals throughout the history and how they really opposed quote unquote radicals, because they call Black Lives Matter a radical organization. That's the radical organization. So imagine what we are, you know what I'm saying? And you know, of course they're talking about calling the Black Panthers an anti-white group, you know what I'm saying? This is historically who they have been, your fringe, and now they are profiting off of deaths like Tamir Rice, Eric Gardner, and most recently George Floyd. And when they just said they made $1 million last summer alone off the George Floyd riots, and people don't know where that money is going. And now they brought in good old Hillary Clinton to you know, show us where it's going. How you doing, Tracy? But yeah, Bakar, you want to say something about that?
Well, you know, Hillary, ain't nobody, no, they don't know where the money going. Where did the money go that Sean King went? You know, that he got. We are easily, let me see, we are easily hoodwinked, bamboozled, ran amok, tricked for some strange reason. If white folks get on TV and say something, black folks gone. We done for the majority. We gonna run to that. Don't care what we say and do. You gonna have a few. We gonna have to get some white people talking points forecast. We gonna have to get some white people talking points. Then we can get them where then we can get them in line where we want. Go ahead.
Oh, we about to show them some white people talking points. All right. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if anybody want to come in and be, you know what I'm saying, like not too long, you know. But yeah, anybody want to come on and talk about that. But we're gonna go on to the next thing, because Bakari, you're right. We do need to show them some white people talking points. So let's show them some actual white people talking points, not just the talking points, but white people action points. So I don't know if y'all know what's going on overseas, and we're gonna kind of lead into that. But I understand how people, and I don't get into this debate, how people want to stay where they are. I understand that. But you got to understand, everybody is jockeying for land, is jockeying for position. And here you see right now, counterterrorism training in Africa. I mean, now we can do counterterrorism training anywhere, but you know what I'm saying? So
from Reuters, U.S. begins counterterrorism training in Africa amid upheaval. The United States' yearly counterterrorism training program for African forces began on Sunday in Ivory Coast at a time of upheaval in which terrorist fighters control large areas. Coups are on the rise and French forces are winding down. The training program, known as Flintlock, will bring together more than 400 soldiers from across West Africa to bolster the skills of forces, some of which are under regular attack by armed groups linked to terrorists. From Reuters, U.S. begins counterterrorism training.
all right, so I don't know if y'all can understand, dude, but
yeah, they're doing counterterrorism. I didn't hear him say what part of Africa though.
yeah, we're gonna so their yearly counterterrorism training program for African forces begin in the Ivory Coast at a time which Islamic fighters control large areas and coups are on the rise, you know what I'm saying? So basically they're talking about the Muslims and stuff, but we know like a lot of black groups are kicking them out of their places and stuff like that. So the training program will bring more than 400 soldiers from across West Africa to bolster the skills of forces, some of which are under regular attack by armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State. Those not present include forces from Guinea and 2 countries worst hit by Islamic violence, Mali and Burkina. Let me see.
Burkina Faso.
A main focus is information sharing. If we can't communicate, we can't work together. And that sounds about right, my brother. And it's it kind of go on. I don't want to read the whole thing, but France has led the fight against militants since 2013, but popular opposition to its irrelevant intervention has grown. Last week, it said it would leave Mali, moving instead to Niger. Diplomats fear the exit of 2,400 French troops from Mali, the epicenter of violence, could destabilize the region further. So, that brings up another point, because what I said earlier, you know what I'm saying? And then, Bakar, you want to say something before? Go ahead and say something about that.
I'm going to tell you something, man. And you know what? That's our fault. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by our fault, black people's fault, right? That's our fault that we don't think we can take care of ourselves. We leave. Don't care where we are. We leave where we are to go somewhere else to hope someone else can make it better for us. Look at those African people stuck in Ukraine, right? So now look what's going on in Africa. Look at us here. We leave wherever we are to go to another, to hope they make it better. This state don't have nothing. They don't have this here. They don't have that there. So that means that's an opportunity for us to build. But since we don't see that opportunity to build, we see ourselves as being the needy people, where we need someone to do it for us. So we always looking on the outside of ourselves for somebody to make things better for us. I get it, Mike.
No, Libera and JB just came on. JB, you came on first. What's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's going on? Yeah, downish. The approach that Brother Bakari has, I understand it, but it's self-castigating. It's self-castigating. We were in the diaspora as immigrants. Here in the Netherlands, you had a kingpin. We were different people back then. So not being in Africa is not exactly the point. You had a kingpin here, a pimp and a drug dealer, and he bought arms in former Yugoslavia and smuggled it with the help of Gaddafi to the front lines where Amilcar Cabral was. But I entered to explain what you just read there. So now terrorism and Islam. So now it's terrorism and Islam. And back then it was terrorism and communism. Understand very well what you just read. It's nonsense. Our fight for independence, because Mali is kicking out the French, Burkina Faso is kicking out the French, and the words they choose. Let me see. I have it on another screen. Raising concerns about a return to West Africa's post-colonial reputation as a coup belt. Nonsense. We are kicking out the ass kissers, the bootlickers. And what was it again? The words that they chose for French being kicked out. That was kind of funny to me. Those not present included forces from Guinea and winding down. Right. So the United States yearly counter-terrorism training program for African forces. It's like back in the days. Cape Verde, they used my people, Cape Verdeans. They recruited my people. So Cape Verdeans were one of the fiercest fighters against the colonialists, but they also recruited among us forces to combat the freedom fighters, the so-called terrorists. I've got on Facebook uh, 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 a guy that comes from the same village as my mother is. He's here in Rotterdam. He's homeless, right? He lost his mind, and he speaks of what the Portuguese army made him do, like bombing churches, bombing schools, right? And that's what they are preparing to do. That's what I read when I read the United States yearly counterterrorism training program for African forces began on Sunday in Ivory Coast at a time of upheaval in which Islamic fighters control large areas. Coups are on the rise, and French forces are winding down. No, they are kicked out. They are not winding down, and the training is not counterterrorism. They are recruiting Africans to fight Africans. It's sick. It's that's what I'm reading, because that's how it goes. That's
Right.
what they do.
I agree.
Yeah, and I'm pass it to Library, and then I'm gonna let Bakara respond, and then
I'm sorry for the emotions.
No, you
But
good, bro. That's
it is what
good.
it is.
Yo, let it all out, my brother. Let it all out.
Yeah, I see
Library.
exactly what Jose sees. Um, do y'all hear echo?
No, you sound good.
Okay. Yeah, I hear exactly what he sees. It's all a setup, manipulation, lies, as usual. They lied to the American people, like they lied about, the thing in Ukraine and Russia, to the American people, to the people. This manipulation is so deep. Even in Washington, they lied to the people. You hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There is literally representatives that really think that things went down the way they went down, the way they say that it went down. And, they really think, it's just a lot of playing people, against each other. Because today, to this day, my mom still talks about, oh, they're cutting off people's limbs in Africa. And she loves white people. So that's where she hears it from. Because she goes to a white church, of course.
Yes.
So
Yes, these white churches
everything's
in
got to be
Africa.
bad. See, yeah, I'm married to an African, so everything's got to be bad on his side. She about had a heart attack, my baby girl. She thought that they were going to take her to Africa, but she did get to go to Africa. But, in her mind, people are these awful people, like they're the very same. Like my mom thinks they're equal to white people, that they are the same as white people over there, doing the same thing some bad white people do, they do over there. But the difference is they've been manipulated into doing those things.
You should hear the mother. You should hear the mother of my baby moms. Crazy, it's crazy. We were preparing. So my natural clock is about 5 o'clock in the morning or so. I don't need an alarm or something. So I woke up and she was preparing the marriage of her oldest daughter, right?
Mhm.
the sister of my baby mom's, and I thought, okay, let me help her peel those onions and Irish potatoes. And it was Senegal is a Muslim country, right? So a few minutes later, the first prayer, the call for the first prayer was on, and she talked like these racist politicians here in the Netherlands. She literally said, yeah. Listen to this noise. If they did this in Western Europe, they would be kicked out. And that's nonsense. But it are the voices that I hear around here, right?
Right.
But that's what those churches do in Africa. So in here women don't have power, in the Christian in these Christian politician parties. In here it's a multi-party system. So you get in the Netherlands you even got a party for the animals, right? So it's an environment focused party, but you have also various Christian politician parties, right? And the more radical parties, they are just like what they say Muslims are, or maybe they are worse than Muslims, right? But over there they share one building. So in here they have even different politician parties. They don't they don't get along, but over there they get along, and their agenda is LGBTQ, feminism, and all of that. Their agenda is to break the African family.
Exactly, because my mom
there's
tells me about young African college girls coming over and telling her these stories about their experience over in their country.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
there's a holy war going on between the mother of my baby moms and the father of my baby moms. So he is Muslim and she is Christian, but it only became a holy war when he married a second wife.
Hey, let me let Bakari get in here because I got a couple more screen shares I want to show too. But Bakari, you want to respond to anything you heard?
You know what I can say? I respond to when they was talking and they said they are going Africans fighting Africans, and that's what's going to end up happening. That's what it is. They're recruiting Africans to fight Africans. Absolutely. That's why I said it's our fault when we don't think we can take care of ourselves. And regardless of how many years that it's been, the same thing. It's the same cycle, right? So we can talk about, in all honesty, we can talk about how bad they are, right? We can say other people are bad.
Yeah, but let me speak as the expert here, right? Let me speak as the expert
Okay,
here.
okay, but let me finish right quick, Jose. Then you can go.
Okay.
Right. So, but we can say that whether they are bad, we already know how the rest of the world feels about African people. No if, no ands, no buts, no maybes. We know how they feel about us, right? Since we know how they feel, we got to get off their titty, for the lack of a better term. We have to get off their breast milk.
100.
Because if we don't, we will continue.
I understand what you're saying, but read 400. They are recruiting just 400, but they will be armed. They will be arming them with the newest shit and the heaviest shit. So on the other side, it's us. So instead of what you're doing, self-chastising, punishing ourselves, instead of that, let's encourage the other side, or even just like what this kingpin was doing here in the Netherlands. Make money, and with the money that we make here in the West, and force the freedom fighters, because the freedom fighters are going to fight these 400 overly armed Africans
Exactly.
with sticks and stones.
Exactly.
You know, and we can do what you are doing, and I feel you. You know, disappointment. I feel the pain in your voice, right? Disappointment. I feel the disappointment in your voice, but that's not going to help our freedom fighters fight these 400 motherfuckers.
Hey, JB,
And I
let me say.
also feel,
Go ahead,
okay.
Library. Go ahead.
I also feel that we need to let them know that we know. I really seriously
Exactly.
start,
Yes.
you know,
Encouragement.
even if we go, you know, if we can go to Washington with signs, let them know that we know what they're doing. It's clear. Let the world know.
Let our people in Africa know that they're not
Right.
alone.
And let them know that what's coming, what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, foresight, forethought, knowing everything ahead of time. It's
There's a social media. There's an African Facebook. It's one dash or I don't know how to you got two horizontal minus. It's one ONE minus Africa.com. It's social media, and it's you know, we live in a anglophone world, right? You African Americans, we in Western Europe, we live in the anglophone world on the internet. But there's a francophone world, there's a lusophone world in Africa, right? So you have this social media. I call it the French Facebook, you know.
Right.
And I'm in there, and I try to, you know, what Lightbearer is saying. That's what I'm doing there.
And I speak French, so I always like to, you know, communicate back and forth in that.
Okay, then hop on, go in there. One
So can you put it in the private chat?
Yeah, put it in the back chat.
Yeah.
And let me say this, because I understand what y'all saying, but I also understand what Bakari is saying, like, because, you know, there's only like none of like until we actually get on it, because I want y'all to see something real quick, because we say a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, but you know, like when it comes down to it, other groups are prepared to do what it takes. So let me share my screen, because I want to show a couple of things real quick, because I said, and I'll say it after I show the screen share. But let me show y'all a couple of videos about what Bakari is talking about. Can y'all see that? Now these are just regular
I know
people.
what he's talking about. I was in the service, and I saw some of these NATO fighters that were from Africa. I met some of them. I met a lot of them all over the world. Basically, I was amongst many in Afghanistan. So
yeah, but that's the thing. Like these is like the regular people. You know what I'm saying? And like, let me show you.
Don't underestimate what's happening in Africa too. They won't show it. You know. But our young in Burkina Faso and Mali are on it too.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna let you speak. Hold on, I'm gonna play this real quick. Let me just play this video.
Military officers are training local residents in urban warfare.
Но это то, о чем надо было договариваться. Ми більше навчаємо тактики ведення бою в приміщенні, тобто відпрацювання захвату всієї будівлі. Вони займаються своїм життям, працюють на заводах, працюють вчителями, економістами, бухгалтерами. Але якщо нам знадобиться, і ці люди прийдуть до нас захищати нашу країну, вони вже будуть знати, що їм робити. Дивись, паси. Заводь, ось. Давайте раз покажу.
Ти собирав.
The Ukrainian government aims to recruit around 130,000 civilians to bolster its defense if a war with Russia breaks out. The military will rely on them to fight. For some of these civilians, this is the first step in becoming part of what the government calls the Territorial Defense Force.
На ощупь, все руками, в темноте, освещение слабое, должно все правильно. Именно память руками должна быть чувствовать, где потать, где дощелкнуло, где на месте. Можно опять достать и поставить. Так точно. Це гражданська людина, вона должна руками ощутити кожну, щоб ця деталь повинна працювати тільки так. З другого разу вже краще.
Запропонували з дітьми прийти, тому я вважаю, що мій син повинен.
They said we can bring our children.
Приїхали і все подобається.
Сьогодні будемо проводити заняття з вогневої підготовки.
Now, pretty much, y'all get the point with point of that video. But you know, like Bakari, you said, bring some like that. Like you know, we need white talking points. These are the white talking points. You know what I'm saying? They will put out their citizens to defend themselves, and that's why I said earlier about the World War thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it sounds more to me like a European a European war than a world war, because we haven't been involved in none of these wars like we're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And until
the reason why forecast is because they planned all this out. This is part of taking over the planet from the Black people. This is part of all that. This is just an extension,
right?
Because there's more to us than what we know. You even put in the idea about aliens and them, NASA. All of that's a part of the whole scheme of things. The Bible, religion, because what they've done is they're trying to fight us. They're fighting
yeah, I understand what you're saying
about
like
us
that.
that we don't understand about us.
Yeah,
And
I understand what you're saying.
they're trying to take over more.
Right, but
Be
that's
more
what
in
I'm saying.
control before things get out of hand for them and they get destroyed.
Right, I understand what you're saying, but like the thing is, like all I'm saying is we need to start making plans. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? We have to start coming up with our own stuff. I understand like there is deep and there's a whole thing where all these governments are destabilizing and is coming into a new is a new life is a new thing, but like we have to get up on the old world order. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we have to actually start doing our own thing where we like, because no, like you can't tell me that these people are doing something that we can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like our citizens can go out there and
what they're doing is what we should not. What they're doing is what we should not do, because we're more than this level of consciousness that they got us on now. So therefore, we need to do what we need to do, which is what Bakari says, take care of ourselves. And part of that is protecting ourselves. So when we're moving in a way where we're no longer concerned or focused on whiteness and them and what's going on with them, and focus on ourselves and taking care of ourselves and coming together and building a cohesiveness amongst people that look like us all over the planet and building that strength, that's our power right there. And the forethought that we've been gifted with, to think ahead. We can think above them, no problem. We can outthink them, but not until we release ourselves from underneath them. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel I feel you. Bakari, yeah, go ahead, Bakari.
Look, the thing I'm gonna say, right? Forecast, I understand exactly what he's saying, right? See, we can say they get militias, and we can talk about how they fight wars. We can say all the negative stuff about them, but it works. Obviously, it works because they've been controlling us. And I'm not gonna just say they, because I'm letting you know I ain't just talking about them. I ain't just talking about the European. But obviously, what they do works when it comes to us. So if somebody have been dominating you and controlling you all of these years, I suggest that we learn from what they have been doing to put themselves in this position over us, right?
No, because
See, wait,
let me tell you, Bakari, real quick. Real quick, Bakari. No, because they're about ready to come to an end. This stuff, don't think this stuff is gonna work for them. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. It's coming to an end for them. They wouldn't be this desperate to do all they're doing now if it was working. Let me be on, I cannot be candid. The only reason why they won any war was because they had us Black people with them. Without us, and nobody's joining the services anymore. Without us, and they shot up most of their people with the disease. So without us, and they don't feed people right, and it's so much sickness. Without us, they have no power anymore.
But
So
like,
they
bro,
already weakened
Okay,
their
but it
okay,
sounds
resolve.
like we
like
shouldn't do it
Bear,
no
I
more, like, bro.
understand that, right? Let me say this, right? I understand what you say, and I hear a lot of people say that. But we waiting on them to die off. We waiting on them to get sick. They
No,
kicking.
we don't have to wait.
Like Bear,
Yeah.
wait. They are dominating
Mm-hmm.
and they are controlling.
They're
And it's
not
as if
dominating anymore.
it is
They're
as if
weakening. They're weakened
it,
already.
it
Hey,
is as
hold
if
on, Bobby, bro. Let him finish.
we're
Okay,
in
go ahead.
we're in a no-win situation if we don't think we're supposed to fight back and do what they do or what they have done. They might be weakening and they might be whatever, but they have dominated and controlled Black people, African people around the world for a whole lot of years.
But it's
And
over.
instead of us meeting them with what they have done, because what they have done and what they do, trust me, they learned
They are
from
learning.
somebody.
They're gonna learn a hard lesson here.
They learned from somebody who did it to them. Violence, if we just go back throughout history and don't just stay stuck on the Europeans, right? We go back throughout history. Violence have controlled the world for a very long time.
No, it hasn't.
That's why
Not very
some
that
people
long.
will still say, the Mongolians have the greatest military in history. Because when you see how the Mongolians controlled, they didn't control being friendly, they controlled with fear. They controlled with what they was able to do to you and how they were able to do it. From the Mongolians to the Ottoman Turks, the Nasser Arabs who went in and controlled, to the Europeans. One group of people have not figured that out. You can't go out through nowhere any time through history where we controlled other people's language, control other people's resources, even wanted to control the world.
We
I'm not
do.
that spiritual.
But
I
we
used to
do.
be.
Bakari, we do. Everybody's speaking our languages. Everybody's speaking, living the way we put out, laid out.
Wait,
The
wait, hold on,
religions are
hold
all
on,
from
hold on,
our
hold
ancient.
on, Libera. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let Bakari finish, and then I'm gonna let you respond. Then I'm gonna let JB
Okay.
get in there, cause I know he want to get in there too.
Okay.
But so yeah, go ahead, finish Bakari. Then it's gonna be on you, Libera, then JB.
Like for me, that's why I'm speaking. This right here is just personal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I would tell anybody I'm not that spiritual, because the black spirits have not done what they're supposed to do. Our spirits have not told us to fight back. Our spirits have not told us to dominate and control. Our spirits have told us to wait on Jesus, wait for the sky to crack, wait for somebody in Israel to come down on a flying donkey, to wait on everything, wait for them to die off. My spirit tells me to fight back. And when I saw what they was doing, and the reason I was talking to you about this earlier forecast, and I also spoke to, I'm like, sometimes it's almost like, what are we doing? Because when we had a militia that was out here and that was trying to do something for black people, I tried to join, regardless whether you think it was ran right or not. They stepped to the people in Brunswick, Georgia. People don't like to talk about that, and they forced them people to arrest those people that murdered Ahmaud Arbery. They went down and had a face-off with that white militia that was all over TV during the presidential election down there in Louisville, Kentucky, and made them back down. And I know because it was a little buddy right up the street from me who was a part of it. But what we did was, instead of us trying to appreciate him, instead of us trying to say, you know what, we gonna support it, what we did was we thought negative, because we don't think we're supposed to be fighting them back. And look, I go, like I say, I train women to shoot. I shoot. I have weapons. I'm not telling nobody, just go out here and get your weapons and start attacking people. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, we need to be prepared for whatever. They are being trained on how to fight with Molotov cocktails. When it comes to us fighting, we say, well, you know, they got the National Guard. They will slaughter us. We are already defeated in every way. That's why we wait.
No, that's not what I'm saying, though, Bakari. I'm not
I'm
saying.
gonna pass the mic because I let y'all talk. Come on, Light Bear.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, babe. Come on. We better than that,
Well,
Light
I
Bear.
thought you were done. I didn't know.
I know I paused that because now I'm finna be done, right?
Yeah, right.
But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is, it's time for us to do something different. That's the biggest thing. Stop looking to them. And I know you're not saying look to them like Bear. So that's
No.
not. I'm talking about us as a group, as a people, because I don't separate us. So when I say us, I'm talking about all of us, even if it's something we don't believe in or something we don't do. We have to stop looking for them. We have to stop looking at the creator of the problem to be the problem solver. They created the problem, but we got to solve it. Now I yield the mic. Go ahead, Queen.
I hold on.
I
I'm gonna let
agree.
Libera. Hold on, Libera. I'm gonna let Libera respond, then JB, and then I got other couple more, like just a couple more quick screen shares. So go ahead, Libera.
Yeah, I agree. My spirit says fight, 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 but there's a time for it. Right now, you know, I'm not, you gotta feel it. It's not time for that yet. It's not time for us to get like that yet. I mean, we can always be ready. Yes. Being ready is having a forethought, knowing ahead of time. What I'm saying is we possess so much power. Our people are not even together with themselves yet. You see what I'm saying? Spiritually. Like you saying, they're waiting on Jesus, waiting on all of this. They're not even listening to themselves or dealing with themselves first. You know, they're not even trying to do that to deal with their situation at hand and then moving forward. You see what I'm saying, Bakari?
Oh yeah, I had muted my mic. I was talking on mute. Yeah, I did that so I wouldn't talk over you. But yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, Liberia. That's why I say some stuff I wasn't talking directly to you.
So
I was talking about us as a people.
So the spirits are not ready for us to make a move. There's other things in play. We don't, okay. Like we think these people they've had us all this time supporting them and helping them to be winners. They have not been successful. I've sat back and watched their police forces all over the United States fuck up royally, do stupid, dumb stuff. And when their mind gets that bad, then we'll realize, our people start backing off and realizing that we need to do things for ourselves. Then it's going to be some more work done, right, on the planet. Then then I say then we'll be ready. We'll be, but our people, we would lose trying to do it on our own like that. You know what I'm saying? By not listening or to our intuition and knowing what moves to make, being a person that thinks ahead, see the forethought that we've all been gifted with. That's what a warrior needs. Warrior needs more than just being on the streets, and because PTSD is what a lot of our people suffer from. And trying to put them out there to be warriors, they're not even ready for that until, the time is right for them, for us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Like, we can't even come together because we don't even trust each other. So we might as well see what would happen. It would be chaotic. It would be backfiring on us because we're not doing it at an appropriate time. It's like we're trying to force, when we come together as one, that's going to be something that was prepared ahead of time, that each individual that chose to do that worked on themselves and got themselves, over the hump of this oppression. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm gonna
right now we would be fighting and shooting each other. I mean, look at what's happening to them. Eventually, we're going to start seeing more things. They're not going to be successful at whatever they try to do. I don't think so. We think we can't have a defeatist attitude either. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And let me get JB in here because he had been quiet for a while, so I know he want to say something.
Let me say this right quick. If I didn't mean to, I was not being offensive toward anybody religion when I said the things that I said. I don't want nobody to take that personal. That's why I say we. That's all. I want y'all to know that. And now, go ahead. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Jose. I just had to say that because I know we have some religious people and I ain't trying to insult anyone. Go ahead, Jose.
This I don't know where to start, but we are we in the West. We've been bamboozled, like Malcolm X said, and really with the energy that Malcolm X said it, we've been bamboozled. We don't understand propaganda, and we've been fed propaganda about ourselves. And now I say ourselves, but I mean African Americans. Let me speak for us Cape Verdeans, right? Cape Verde and Guinea-Bissau. We fought. We had PAIGC. You know, that was our army, and later our political movement, PAIGC, and that were our warriors, you know. I just googled Amilcar Cabral, and then I went to the images tab, you know, and there you can taste about what really is fighting. You know, fighting is not marching with banners. You know, fighting is women, men and women with AKs in the bushes, right, and in the trenches. That's what fighting is. You know, you got people speaking about, yeah, I was with JB on the front lines there in Amsterdam. No, that those are not front lines. Those were us waiting for hooligans to come, and there was us, and there was police, and the hooligans did not come. And even if it would have come to fist fighting, which it never does, that's not fighting. It's really, it ain't. So what we don't see, you know, so we see these people in Ukraine, these people in the Ukraine, we see them preparing, quote unquote. It's propaganda. Did you see the Chechenians? Did you see the Chechenians begging Russians to fight on their side? Did you see how many people those were? No, you didn't, because that's not in mainstream media. It's not served to us, right? So it's the same thing in Africa. We read this piece with 400 soldiers, but there's millions of teenagers sick of sick of the French, right? But it's dangerous, right? Because their freedom, the freedom that they have, because I saw it in 2012 here in Senegal, they are tired of French dominion, right? But so you have millions of warriors, potential warriors, and real warriors already with the AKs and the rocket propelled grenades already there, you know. But they need some aim, you know. They need an Amilcar Cabral. They need and those type of leaders are there, you know. But like us, they are in danger of falling in the same trap as we did. Us, my parents, you know, the generation of my parents. That generation were in the trenches with Amilcar Cabral, you know, and they fought for freedom, and they kicked the Portuguese out, and then they fell in the propaganda. Then they saw you fighting for inclusion, and we fell straight back into the arms of the colonizer, you know. Democracy, voting rights, and all that bullshit. We took it back to the Cape Verde Islands. We fought for our freedom. We could travel the world, right? And in traveling the world, we fall in the trap that white supremacy built with your faces, with you marching for voting rights, etc. Understand that when we and now I speak of we, because I grew up in that, you know. So I am practically the same as you guys, you know. We have to go back to what fighting really is, and that's not being in the cameras. That's not being in the lenses of the cameras, you know. That's not being like these pictures that brother Forsyth just showed. You know, that's propaganda. What these same channels are not showing is these Chechenians, and you know these Chechenians don't play. You know, I saw those images, and I tweeted it immediately. I made a tweet, and the tweet, what I said, what I put along with the images was "rip to the other side," you know. And that's the same thing in Africa. Rip to these 400 motherfuckers. If we in the West don't fuck up like we did before. If we understand propaganda, then we are not, then they will not be able to use us again like they used you, my African American brethren. If we understand propaganda, they will not be able to use us again. And those 400 soldiers, we will laugh at them.
Exactly.
And trample over them. We have to be careful with this defeated with those defeated voices.
Yeah,
You know?
because because
Trust.
because the like I said, they don't use their brain at all. They use might, but they don't think at all. So we have the ability, our black men have the ability to outthink them any day. That's why
Who knows?
that's why
Who
they
in the
have
world?
us over
May
here.
I, sister? May I, sister?
Yeah, go ahead, Jose.
May I again point at this kingpin that we had here in the Netherlands? He was in the top of organized crime. And why was he in the top of the organized crime? He was one of the tentacles of Amilcar Cabral in the front lines. You understand? And he was everywhere. He was also in propaganda. He was sponsoring. He was the financier of a music studio, and the name of the music studio was Black Power. There was Suriname, Antillians, and Cape Verdeans. You know, so this criminal understood propaganda. He understood guerrilla warfare, and he understood that his life and the wealth that he lived in, you know, he drove around in a Rolls Royce and surrounded with girls, but those girls were making the money, and the drugs was the money that he was making and financing Amilcar Cabral. You know, it's guerrilla warfare is no joke, and this supposedly criminal understood the full 360 degrees of guerrilla warfare. That's propaganda. That's putting up a smoke screen. You know, and you know who killed him? Do you know who killed him? I believe the Dutch kingpin who killed him was a freebooter, a modern time freebooter. So equivalent as him, but for the Dutch queen, right? Because the king, the present king, he has two brothers, right? And one of those brothers died in an avalanche, right? But his wife was with him. His wife was a supposedly fuck toy of the guy that killed this Cape Verdean kingpin. Bruinsma is his name, and this spy in this whore for the queen. That's how I call her. This whore for the queen was with this Dutch kingpin, but she was also with Yugoslavian arms traffickers, right? And what did I just tell you? This Cape Verdean was dealing drugs, but he was buying arms in Yugoslavia and smuggling them to the front lines with Gaddafi's help. And who of our African American brethren that are convinced that they are the warriors and us Africans not? Who of you knows this?
Hey, because I'm gonna go to the next thing, and then we can finish the conversation after that, because it kind of goes to what you're saying, JB. But Bakar, you want to say something real quick before I go to the next thing?
Yeah, I just want to ask. This is a question I want to ask. This is not just for the panel, for the chat, for everybody. Why is it every time we see them doing something, it's always propaganda? They are actually fighting. They are actually killing people. They actually doing all this stuff. Why every time we see it, we consider it propaganda?
Because we don't see the other side. The Chechenians begging the Russians to fight for them on their side. Have you seen them?
No, I haven't seen them, but because I haven't seen them, that don't mean these people preparing. See, let me tell you why I asked that question, Jose.
Listen. It's not
No, let me tell you why I asked the question.
It's not that what you see is propaganda. It's that what we have to understand propaganda. So when you see them, start looking or be aware that that's not what you see is not everything.
I understand,
Aware
but let
of
me
that.
tell you why I asked the question, though. I'm gonna tell you why I asked the question. I asked this question because when you say propaganda, right? That's the same thing people said our black militia that was 5,000 people strong. That's the same thing people said.
No, it's different though.
That's the same thing.
It's different, Bakari. It's the point that you gotta recognize when
Everything ain't
someone
propaganda.
you gotta but you gotta recognize. But ain't he in court now? Isn't he in court now? Nobody knew this guy. Nobody knew Grandmaster.
Hey, hold on, cause we'll finish this conversation. I'm gonna share these last, cause this is the last one on the subject. So I'm gonna share. It's just a quick couple of Jones, but let me say that. Oh well, I'm gonna show them real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about propaganda. I want to show like propaganda and how they trying to get people to record. So it's kind of good y'all was talking about that. So this is propaganda. This is what propaganda is. You know what I'm saying? Showing stuff like this to try to get sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like try to get people to sign up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, who really cares about him? But
Yes, word.
This is straight propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, puppies being saved from the ice, babies being born in the shelters. Yes, that's also propaganda. But like I typed in the chat.
Wait, hold on, because I'm gonna show this real quick. Because this is Vladimir Klitschko. I want to show what he's saying about
heavyweight
it.
boxing, nation's first Vladimir Klitschko, the country.
I can't stand still, and I won't. That's why I'm here. That's why I signed up today for territorial defense of the country and the city. And before our enemies make attack against Ukraine, they have to think we are strong. It will be very painful price for everyone. We hope our diplomats, Ukrainian diplomats, give all knowledge to stop this aggression in diplomatic way.
All right, hold on. There's one more, and then it shows him out there.
Переважно більшість замів служила в армії, але це було багато часу тому. В минулому потрібно завжди.
Well, we don't understand what he's saying, but and also we're gonna get back to the conversation, but I want y'all to talk about this too, if y'all like what y'all think about this too.
Зачем пришел? 25-я бригада, войсковая часть 75, 242, 75, 242, войсковая часть 25-я бригада. Зачем прибыл? С какой целью? Кто послал?
And this is a Russian soldier being questioned by Ukrainian citizens.
На учение. Нас тут обманули маленько. Ну, так вот оказалось, что теперь я здесь.
Та же часть изначально говорили, что прибыли на учение. В итоге, когда уже закинули на передовую, люди все были деморализованы, и никто не хотел идти. Но сказали, будете врагами народа. А так это военное время, то вообще можете быть расстрелянными. И нас стали закидывать как пушечное мясо. Хотя люди, все, по крайней мере, нашей части этой войны, но не хотят. Просто хотят домой, просто хотят мира.
It's on us or Ukraine or people in Ukraine to believe them.
Wait, hold on. It's almost over.
Водитель. Посадили, сказали, учение, все там нормально, все как бы будет. Ну, мы не знали, что мы ничего не хотели.
If I am caught, I'm going to lie to the enemy. This is no movie. This is not Hollywood.
It's propaganda.
Резервист, да? По резерву, да? Ничего. Зачем прибыл? Что, тоже на учение?
На учение, как оказалось.
А когда прибыл? Сколько дней?
All right, now I'm gonna pass it to y'all. I'm gonna let y'all finish the conversation, but let me say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I understand exactly where Bakari is coming from. Because like, look, we've laid down our swords for hundreds of years and we've died. You know what I'm saying? We didn't die by the sword. We just died because we didn't have the sword. You know what I'm saying? And I read the story earlier about how they had this whole group surrounded. They could have kicked them out, but they said no, don't murder this people. And then 300,000 of us became dead. You know what I'm saying? And JB, like, the civil rights movement, that's a part of propaganda too, because you got to understand that most people was not trying to do that. Yeah, they made us the face, just like they make Black Lives Matter the face, but we see Hillary Clinton is behind the organization. And when I tell you the stuff about NAACP, they was founded by the Jewish organization, and those were the people who was pushing that civil rights stuff. They was fighting for equal funding because they was taking the tax money, yes. You know what I'm saying? But that integration stuff, that was all propaganda, my brother. Like, it wasn't Black people out here like, yo, we want to be integrated. It's still communities in America right now that's separate, that's segregated, and don't want to go to schools with white children. My school was like two or three white kids was there. It was like 90-some% Black. That integration stuff was not real. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was called propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And don't think that Black people wasn't fighting back. Don't think that Black people like didn't arm themselves and protect their own neighborhoods, because they fought back because they understood that they had to, but they wasn't just clamoring to be a part of the integration movement. Like, we can go through the whole 1954 case, like Plessy versus Ferguson, separate but equal. It was the train company, not Black people, who was suing for integration because they didn't want to make more train cars. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Black people doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to let you know. But we're gonna go around, and I'm gonna let Bakari go, then Lightbearer, then JB, and then we can finish the whole conversation.
Okay, when I saw that, what I think about that is, right, I think them people see there are people in trouble and they going to fight. Just like the other champion, he left England, Alexander Usyk, to go to Ukraine. The only people who see a propaganda in everything is the people that don't have a militia to defend themselves, is not trying to defend themselves. So every time somebody get killed, it's like, if you listen to you, ain't nobody dead. Oh, that was a hoax. That's just propaganda. Every time something happened physical, Black people take it and run with it. It's propaganda. It's a hoax. It's not propaganda. Like, it wasn't like when Lightbearer asked me, nobody knew who Grandmaster Jay was. Then white people in Brunswick, Georgia knew who he was when they went and stood in front of that house and he told them, y'all have this many days to arrest them or we going in to get them, and wouldn't let nobody deliver food to the house. And him and his militia made the police leave. They knew who he was. That's the only reason those, wait a minute. That's why those people were arrested. But instead of us, because we looking, because it's so hard for us to believe that something like this is actually happening, because we don't prepare to do it. When I stood in that damn city council meeting, I'm the new Black man, I shoot back, hopefully I shoot first. Everybody got away from me except one person, because we don't see ourselves fighting back. When we see somebody else fighting, it's propaganda. When we see Eric Gardner get choked on the street, it's a hoax. When we see Rodney King get beat down to death with those billy clubs, we looking our way to conspiracy theory our way out of what actually happening, so we don't have to face reality. The reality is, we have not been prepared. We are not prepared. We are getting our ass kicked. I didn't see the other side of the Chichilians, but I saw those people training with weapons. I know when I talk to Black men here, let's train with weapons. More women is prepared and willing to say yes than Black men. I know I hear Black men is the ones that mostly spew, ain't nobody dead. This didn't happen. Rodney King wasn't beat. Who else didn't die? Eric Garner. I don't know where all these dead people went, because I told him, if you can show me where these dead people went, maybe I can go find my wife, because maybe she ain't dead. Maybe I can find our son, because maybe he ain't dead. Maybe it's just propaganda. Ain't nobody died. Come on, we got to get past that. We have to, because saying it's propaganda, we sound so afraid. We sound so afraid as a people.
No, I don't think it's fear. I think it's being cautious of whether you are. It's called cautious. Are you? You can't just go and overreact to a trap and be in a trap. You got to be careful. You got to be cautious. You got to know what you're walking into before you walk into it. You can't believe everything you see because these people are good with propaganda and lies. I think our people have been lied to so much through the media. Nobody trusts the media. I don't even watch news. I get my information from off of my phone when I do research. But I don't listen to my local news. I found out eventually through YouTube. So, and things don't always, you got to have a discernment and listen carefully and read those news articles, because a lot of times it's a lot of things are questionable, and how, especially when we're in a place of manipulation,
They hung
constant
this young man
manipulation.
about 15 miles from my
And
house.
then
That was not questionable.
so now Grandmaster whatever his Jay, he, of course the white people knew him. Of course the white people knew him. Don't you think that was a plan, a setup?
No, I do not. I can tell you what was a plan and a setup when they hung that young black man about 15 miles from my house and they lynched him from the tree. But since we ain't prepared to do nothing, we can't go investigate. So I'm not going to shoot him down and say it was a setup. I'm going to say it was some people out there trying. A young man, 23 years old, was in my one of my neighbors was a part. It wasn't a setup when he went out there and stepped to that white militia in Louisville, Kentucky, with his stuff and made them back down. No.
But why now? Why not? Why didn't he do this during the Florida incident? Why didn't he do that? And he's been around all this time. Why didn't he do that when it first popped off that our people were being not getting any justice in their murders? Why did he do it then at that time? And now he's got to go to court. And he could have dragged a whole lot of brothers and I still don't know to this day if a lot of brothers and sisters are going behind, are following behind him and going to court. I don't know. I don't know who's got locked up. I know there's one dude that got locked up, and he was I forgot what they call him. Ozone is in jail for protecting himself. So that's why you don't just walk into traps. You got to be careful what you do and who you follow, because you don't know if they FBI, CIA, and these people play dirty and wicked. That's why our people are cautious. They like to play on our emotions, throw propaganda in our faces constantly. So what do you believe? You just take your chances and you sit back and you try to make sense or clarity to see if it's true or not for yourself. Discernment, because you can't fall for everything.
All right, hold on.
You know what I did fall for and understood? I understood after I stood up in that meeting and every black person got away from me. I understood how I was investigated for about a year. I understood how them bastards got my little 13-year-old son. And so you look like you stealing and he a mile away from the store. And my son's scared to call. So I don't want to hear about the propaganda when we ain't trying to get together and do something about what they doing. I don't know what Grandmaster Jay was, but he stepped to them folks and I bagged that up. I'm glad he stepped to him.
Hey, wait. Hey, hold on, Bakari. Hey, y'all. Hey, hold on, Bakari. Y'all finish what y'all saying, and then like don't interrupt each other on this time, and then like y'all finish, and then like JB go, and then y'all can have that conversation where it's an open conversation. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
y'all finish
So,
up, and then like don't
so
cut each
when
other off this time, but then next time y'all can have or whatever.
so when did y'all start getting investigated?
When was I getting investigated?
Yeah.
After I stepped to the police in the city council meeting.
There you go.
After I stepped to them in the county meeting.
There
That's
you
when I
go.
started being investigated.
That's why you need to know ahead of time what you're dealing with. So
I
you
know what I'm
don't.
dealing with. I'm also know I'm tired and I'm frustrated. And I know when my son was scared to even look up when he comes home to me crying, saying, Dad, I was scared he was gonna shoot me. That's why I didn't get the phone and call you. I know I went back up there and I stepped in. Everything. So that's not propaganda. So what
No,
I'm
I'm not
speaking
saying.
from is us preparing and us
Mhm.
getting ready. We can do
But
the
don't you
same
think they
thing
expect
anybody else
that?
do.
But you gotta use wisdom too. Don't you think they expect that? So they do something, and it's looking intentional to me what they be doing. So they expect you to be hot and heated and to go out like that.
All right, all right, all
They
right. Hold
expect our people to do that.
All right, hold on. Let JB go, so then Pelej could go,
Okay.
and then it's an open conversation. Y'all could just jump in however y'all want. So,
Okay.
JB, you go real quick, and then let Pelej go, and then there's an open conversation.
Yes, brother Bukhari. It's understanding propaganda where I'm at. I'm not. And please don't do this, brother. What you are saying is not what I was saying. We have to understand propaganda. In my ears, you sound defeated. Like plus, you are actually describing the error that we make. We make noise. This brother with the no fuck around organization, it looked powerful, and that's the good part of the propaganda. But the bad part of the propaganda was calling for the cameras. Cameras shoot too, you know. Cameras shoot too, and you don't want your whole movement and each and every move to be shot by cameras. Understanding propaganda is where I'm at. Understanding propaganda is where I'm at. Let me read back because the heat is also always keeping it calm in the under the dome is staying organized. Let me see. Understanding propaganda is do not tell on us, plus do not discourage us. So when I listen to you in the shoes of our young, it's or let me describe what you did in on that council, right? So if I was in that council, maybe I would distance from you also, because you are drawing the attention, while guerrilla warfare is silent. People disappear in silence because in silence they are killed. Even better, people disappear, they die, and the best way of killing those that need to be killed is making it look like an accident. So what no fuck around guerrillas were doing is not that. Is the complete opposite. You don't want your enemy to realize that you are at war with him, just like how we are being killed. Most of us, or no, it looks like most of us, but at least a lot of us don't realize that we are at war. Well, that's perfect. But what if we turn that around? That these motherfuckers think, oh yes, that's my I have black friends, and the next moment he's gone, because his black friend became his black friend because his black friend knew this was a white motherfucker. His black friend knew this white motherfucker needed to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare is not thousands of us in black in showing what type of guns we have, how many shooting accidents, shooting accidents. That's not warfare, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let Pelej get in there, and then I'm gonna say something, and then it's whatever after that. Y'all can just jump in. Pelej, go ahead, my brother.
Go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and then I'll
No,
jump
no, go
in.
ahead, my brother. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No,
What's going on,
oh, no,
Pelej? How you doing,
oh,
man? By the way, how you doing?
not much, my brother. I was gonna say that you can just go ahead and say what you want to say, and then I can just jump in on the after that because it's like it's whatever, because I just got in.
All right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brothers, like y'all gotta. I think we underestimate because a part of understanding propaganda is understanding that you can control propaganda too. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that you have to be the actual example. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is saying go out there and commit suicide. Nobody is saying that. But it can't hurt, like, yo, for you, Jose or JB, and for me and for Bakari to actually train on our own to get nice at using the gun. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if somebody gonna pull up or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, we can keep waiting and stuff like that. And I understand what you're saying about guerrilla warfare, but the point is they understood they were at war. We as a people do not understand that we are at war. You understand it? And look, during slavery, they poisoned the food. You know what I'm saying? They did overt stuff and they did covert stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with us today. Like, revolution is not just bloodshed either. You know what I'm saying? Revolution is spending money within our own communities. So that's another part of it. But also defending yourself, because, like, look, like, at the end of the day, like, if you have kids or whatever, you're going to do what you have to do to protect your children. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, understanding where you spend your money is protecting your children. Understanding where you spend your time and what you do with your stuff is a part of it. But yo, we have to start understanding how to use propaganda on our own, how to use it. And look, I use these videos and stuff like that to show that these average citizens, whether it's propaganda or not, they are willing to do what they have to do to protect their self-autonomy. Now, we have been getting lynched for 400, 600 years, you know what I'm saying? And we still are not willing to protect our autonomy. I mean, it's a sad state when people have to, like, when judges who's black go hug somebody and the brother go hug somebody, and then your family gets shot in the church and you say, I forgive you, you are definitely a far away from being ready for war. But if we keep staying on this mindset, like, we're not going to really do nothing, then we're going to stay on that mindset. But if we show, because people learn by examples, and like Bakari and me had a conversation about leadership, but at the end of the day, unless you're actually doing something to get people to follow you, unless you can give them food, shelter, people will come. If you can do that, if you build it, they will come. But at the end of the day, like, it doesn't hurt for you to practice the quote unquote Second Amendment. Let's just say that, you know what I'm saying? To go to the range to learn, because if somebody break into your house, like, at the end of the day, that's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to start dealing with reality. When Donald Trump got put out of office, they stormed the Capitol. When England said, I'm not going, you got to pay taxes, they burned up all the tea at the harbor. You know what I'm saying? Every group of people have done, like, it was a bird nest in my yard and I got a dog. The bird attacked my dog when the dog got too close to the nest. You know what I'm saying? We are the only people that say, it is what it is. Like, thank God that my son Ahmaud Arbery got shot, because now all lives matter. Like that's all I got to say about it. But yeah, go ahead. Everybody can just say whatever they want to say.
Okay, by the way, then none of them people in that church died. That was all a hoax too. That was what they said. That was a conspiracy and propaganda trying to start a race war. I'm just saying what the folk was saying. That ain't me saying that, because I don't believe that. But that's what they
Dylan
were
Roof
saying.
actually said he was trying to start a race war, though.
But they say didn't kill nobody though. I'm saying what the folks on YouTube were saying. Ain't nobody dead. According to some black folks, ain't nobody dead. This is my thing, and I'm gonna give it. I don't expect nobody to do what I do, right? And Jose saying, I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nobody gonna step to me. I don't care what they got. I don't care who they are. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect me. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect my children. So Jose, let me ask you this question because we supposed to be silent, right? If you and your daughter together and she get out that car and that police tell her, get your motherfucking ass back in that truck before whatever you gonna do, what am I supposed to be quiet at that moment too?
I'm even going to answer this because that's none of what I said to be
No,
quiet.
I'm asking because yes, because that's
so this discussion is between you and you.
okay. I was asking the question because you talked about guerrilla warfare and you're talking about the way I handled with my son, right? So I was asking you about another situation. That's it. We
Hey,
good. Don't be
Lightbearer and
upset.
No,
Malek can jump in
no,
there
I
too.
think what he was talking about was showing your hand to your enemies. They don't show their hands to us. They secretly murder us and then call it legal. They call it justice. They put it in the justice system and they get rewarded for killing.
So
About
you, I'm gonna show you something, right?
so what I'm saying is they do these things to provoke you to act sporadically
They ain't
instead of
doing good.
uniformly, because they want us to come out because they can deal with you when you come out. Then they can't deal with you being a secret.
Yeah, they ain't doing a good
They
job at
can't
provoking
deal with
black
you in
people.
a secret. They can't
They
deal
ain't
with
doing
you.
they ain't doing a good job at provoking us because we ain't came we ain't coming out to stop it. That's the only point that I'm saying. I'm not saying let's go out and start shooting people. That is not what I'm saying. But eventually you have to make a stance. And the reason I asked Jose that question, when my daughter, that's what that dude said to my daughter while I'm there. He disrespected my daughter. Get your little motherfucking ass back in that truck. And what else? Because he knew he saw her. So he disrespected her and me. Because he the police. I ain't supposed to do nothing. No. I didn't care how many of them was out there. I said, I'll cut your fucking head off, you fucking fat white boy. I don't care what you having on a badge. You don't call my daughter right next to me. Curse her again. You don't let people constantly do that and figure out a way where we can talk our way around it and get it later. No, because you know what? We letting them people disrespect our daughter in front of us, disrespect the daughter, disrespect me. So how in the world is the black man gonna ever get respect from his woman if I can't even protect my children? I'm not protecting my children in secret. They didn't disrespect my children in secret. So I'm going to go at them like they come at my children. These are my children, and we're talking about being secret. No.
Bakari, I'm not talking about them conversations back and forth with the police. I'm talking about the real deal with the weapons. That's what I'm talking about. Being open
I
about
had my weapons. By the way,
on
I don't go
television.
anywhere without my weapons. I don't go anywhere without them.
Yeah, but go on public television, and that's all he seemed to be doing is just a show to me. Be
He
about
did
the
more than that.
real
I'm going to
thing.
be honest.
He didn't show up in one place. He did not show up in that we expected him to show up. He didn't even do it.
Where was that?
That's when what was it? I think he told him that he was going to return and back to Louisville. Never did return.
He went back to Louisville.
Hey, for
Mm-mm.
Legend Jose, I'll jump in too.
Go ahead,
JB, I'll jump
but
in
y'all,
too.
he did go back to Louisville for real. He went back. But look, this is
It's
the
all
thing.
right.
I'm not
It's
talking
okay.
about. Wait, let me say this right quick. Then I'm done. I'm gonna let y'all go because I've been spitting. And by the way, Jose, I want you to know, is no beef or nothing. I'm just passionate about this because I done been through some stuff. So I'm just passionate about this. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. I'm not upset or anything. I just want you to know that. You too, Lightbearer. I just want y'all to know that, right? But
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did go back. Seriously, he did go back to Louisville. He did. I'm telling you, one of my neighbors, I didn't have the patience to join. I tried to join with the way they had to do things. The way they had to do things, I just didn't like it. And I wasn't as patient as this young man was. But they went back to Louisville because my neighbor went back to Louisville, and he actually came on my channel and did an interview about it.
okay.
Yeah, they went back. They went back to Louisville. That's why they love him in Louisville. Now I'm done. Y'all, Jose and Pelage, I've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna sit here and be quiet and listen to y'all.
You should have put in Antoine de Melo, Bakari. But yeah, anyone y'all can jump in.
I feel your fire, Bakari, and I like it. But I'm to be honest, I'm worried about your approach. But that does not mean that yes, you have to be an honorable man and stand up to them. But let me give you an example about the no fuck around brethren, right? Imagine the no fuck arounds would be with hundreds standing in front of where imagine them be like that in the neighborhood where Zimmerman lives. The next Zimmerman would maybe think twice, and then you have thought about, you have applied standing, you have applied being shot by the cameras. You understand? So now it was like a catwalk. It's no disrespect, but in comparison with applying being shot by the cameras, or just we here in Europe, here in the Netherlands, we also have this thing about yeah, I told him right, of I showed him, and that's not quite it, that's not quite it. So the no fuck arounds would be a bit more no fuck arounds if they would applied being shot by the cameras. So they would go to the neighborhood or in front of Zimmerman's house and act like the KKK. Get out! I want him. Come out! We're going to lynch you now. It would never happen because maybe even the military would jump in. But it would be a threat, a real threat.
Yeah, you saying real action.
That's propaganda. That's propaganda, right? That's understanding propaganda.
And that's sacrifice. You gotta not be fearful of death when you really gonna be about it.
Right.
You gotta be a sacrifice. You can't be thinking you're gonna be
and
number
having a
one man out
barbecue.
here on the streets all the time.
So
It's
let me
gonna
ask
have
this
people
question, right?
coming after
So what
you.
you're saying is, just because y'all say propaganda, that don't necessarily mean that it's fake.
I
You
don't.
better
You don't give me the impression that you understand the power of propaganda.
No, I was asking.
You can cut yourself with propaganda, or you can cut someone else with propaganda.
I got you. I'm done talking. I just wanted to ask because I'm gonna let y'all talk because I've been talking a lot for real. So I'm just trying to let y'all talk. I just wanted to ask that question.
Propaganda has been the number one thing these white people have used ever since the beginning when they first came over here and took America from the Indians.
The picture of a white Jesus, that was propaganda. They do their magic on white canvas. So this Da Vinci. Why is this Da Vinci so important? Because he painted a white Jesus. That was one of the weapons that these motherfuckers carried with them to our nations, to the Americas, to Africa, to Southeast Asia. So it was a weapon that they carried with them. Look at this guy. This guy is behind the clouds watching us, and he can save you, etc., etc., etc. They did their magic on white canvas, right?
Hey,
That's
and let me add the
Gaddafi, Gaddafi, when they went in there and Hillary said she wanted to get him and she got him. They got him. They made like the people wanted them to get him, but they killed the people too and enslaved the people. And he wasn't in a bad he wasn't a dictator. They lied on him and said this and that, all because he was threatening their money, the dollar.
Hey, let me ask the panel this. And that's you too, Pelage. Hey, Bakari, Pelage ain't said nothing yet, my brother.
I'm here.
When he go, he gonna go.
Yo, let me ask the panel this. This is for all y'all then. Are y'all in favor of black people starting to use our own propaganda on, for ourselves in our favor? Are y'all in favor of that? And what would that look like to y'all?
I'm
we are here. We are here, and we are yeah. So sometimes we sound defeated. Sometimes we sound defeated. We better sound full of trust. We better sound full of trust when we're here in these streams, trusting in each other. Trusting in each other is trusting in each other is better than empowering each other. Like when I sound like I trust Brother Bakari, I trust the forecast light bearer, Village Bolivar. When I sound like I trust you, that's more like more powerful even than empowering you, like saying, "Yo, you can do it." When I sound like I trust you, then I sound convinced that you can do it. Propaganda. We are already at it. That was my answer to the forecast. Next.
Yeah, I'm for it if it's going to help our people set free. I mean, if it's gonna help benefit our people from the long run, and that's it.
That's it, my brother.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm still gonna go back around to you you said you had an open question, stuff like that. It's whatever. I'll go back around after everybody talk about the propaganda.
All right. Since Pelage ain't talk yet, I let Bakari and Lightbearer answer the question, and then let Pelage talk.
See, they never had anybody to counter their propaganda either, right? They never had anybody to counter their lies, their propagandas. They've always had a free go at it. Anybody want to say anything?
Oh, I didn't know you were done.
Yeah, I was making a statement. It seems like they've never had anybody to counter this propaganda they like to spruce out. And that's what I plan to do with Mali. I plan to let our people know, try to get out the word that, that Mali is legit. That if America wants to say a word bad about what they've done over there, because I know like it's going to lead to that eventually, because they're really sore losers at losing some of these African countries. I know that England bagged. I think they bagged Ghana. They were scared that Ghana was going to pull back out of them, and they're so racist. They said that they wish colonization would shouldn't have never left. Should have stayed, because they're losing their grip on these countries.
All right. Okay.
Yes, they are losing their grips on these countries. But to answer your question, forecast, can we use propaganda? Yep. Watch this. So instead of looking for the weakness of whatever NF said and whatever the NFAC didn't do, we could have used that propaganda to make it seem like we got 1 million people just like that. But you know what we did instead? We looked to find where he was wrong and to say he was a plant. We didn't look to do the same thing.
Because we already had legit Organizations like that.
Who?
Black Panthers.
With the new Black Panther Party?
Yep.
I'm gonna
And
tell you something. They got the new Black Panther Party here in Atlanta. They got Harriet P. Newton Gun Club here in Atlanta. 2019, they was doing a Juneteenth celebration down there at the same Wendy's where Rashad Brooks was killed, right? Some white people, when the fireworks went off, did a drive-by. They hit a couple people. They both survived. Right next to the interstate. The black folks started busting back. We tried to get people to go. Me personally, I was down there the next day, me and a newly. I was down there the next night. The next night. So these other militia groups and all that, I don't know where they are, but I can, NFAC went down there that night, but I can tell you this, they did go over there and they did come in patrol. And I'm telling what I know. And they did come in the area for a little while. I know that. And looked out in that area. We could have used that as propaganda to say we have millions, we have 1 million people with us. But we didn't want to do it. We was looking to say something was wrong with him. And most people who said something was wrong with him have never even met him. None of them. Take a guess who did. Take a guess who went out there and talked to him. Take a guess who went out there on the 4th of July. I didn't march to the mountain. But take a guess who went back over to the Wendy's where they went again to patrol the area. But they had started letting it have become everybody areaed in. But take a guess who had been out there and talked to him. But most people who said that don't even know because they didn't try. So the propaganda, it ain't them using propaganda on us all the time. So forecast, to answer your question, yes, we can use propaganda to uplift ourselves, but they don't always have to use propaganda against us because we will use it to find the negative in something we don't even know because a couple of YouTube, oh, he was a past DJ, he had a job, okay. Everybody had a job. That's what he did. But we didn't use that to our benefit, right? Just like the National African American Gun Association. They've used propaganda on TV and talk about what they have. I know because I talked to some of them and I tried it. I know where the range is here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. So yes, we can. But if we're not trying to meet the people and we only looking to say what they don't do, it won't get better. Not saying everything Grandmaster Jay was right, not saying that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying how more of us should have tried to meet. That's all I'm saying, and we could have figured out on our own.
All right. So I'm gonna let Pelej go in and then then I'll be a wrap. Well, I'm gonna show one thing because we speaking about propaganda. This was gonna be my closing statement, but go ahead, Pelej. And by the way, Pelej, you've been a beast lately, my brother. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear everything you guys have to say about what's going on.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep it low key. My son is sleeping, but my thing is, it's good to hear you guys. It's good to be in you guys' panel. Um, I know I look at the title, it says like the John Brown effect. Am I right, brother? Focus?
Yeah, but it kind of went left, but
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Um, you know, I'll be real with you guys. A lot of us, don't want to be free. A lot of us are okay with just being second class citizen. I'm gonna tell you that is that I told a family member this, today, and I said like adults don't stay with adults, I mean, you just don't stay. You have your own place, you have your own things. Coming from Haiti, we I mean, we did a lot of things. We fought white supremacy, but we did some stuff that was wrong too. There was a lot of envy and jealousy. And talking to this family member and said, like, well, we can't do anything because, like, if we try to like be ally with a different country, it won't it won't, United States won't let it happen, stuff like that. I said, well, you know, are you willing to? I mean, like being told what to do. Do you want to build? People they want to build things. They want to build hotels. They want to build schools. They want. I said, what you need to do. You need to have infrastructure and security. You have to be able to protect yourself. Okay. And because like it's hard to talk to people who don't understand the history of the United States and stuff like that, who don't understand the history of Europeans. And I try to tell him about Rosewood, Tulsa, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, it's just, I'm not trying to burst and brag, but it's hard to talk to people, even to some of our Black people that live here who don't understand. And also the two, I don't like when people are degrading Black people here. You know what I'm saying? Though I don't like that. And I think people think that a lot of Black people here don't want to work. 95% of them don't want to work. I said, no, 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 no. That's not true. That is not true. Okay. And my thing is, guys, what's happening here? Like, obviously Russia is invading Ukraine, and I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. All I know is that the media is showing you what they want to show you. I know all I know that I'm seeing Black people being mistreated in Ukraine, though, are getting left behind. That's what I'm seeing. And I believe, I'm hoping like 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, our family, our kids don't have to talk about, injustice, because I think what's gonna have to happen, we're gonna have to be put on an uncomfortable and unbearable place for us to retaliate. And Brother Bakari, man, like I said though, man, I have to add to you things, man. And like I said, I agree with you 100%, man, 100%, my brother. You know, I see, I see the passion behind what you're talking about, man. Like if somebody were to disrespect, my son, man, like I said though, man, I will take a bullet for my son. I will die. Nobody's gonna disrespect me. Nobody's gonna tell me, no, I'm like I said, I agree with you. I support you. A lot of people want to tiptoe around other people. Oh, you can't talk like that. You have to, no, of course, you have to be smart. You have to be very like methodical. You have to be, yes, you have to be smart. You have to plan things. But a lot of us are too busy, doing the shuffle, doing the wobble, like going to tons of barbecue. There's nothing wrong with barbecuing, but we don't have time to like party. We don't have time to be, doing twerking and stuff like that. But we can't be scared. Like I said, right now, we like right now we don't we just don't have time. We have to be willing to sacrifice. We have to be willing to save our family, because like we can't be, we're not cowards, but like I said, we need we like we need unity. Unity is not gonna come with all of us. Like I said, though, some of us are not gonna make it. And like I agree with Brother Bakari, we find ways to criticize NFAC. He's a plant, he's an agent, he's this, he's that. The thing is, we need deals, we need allies. We need allies within. There's some of us we can't be allies with each other, but we need allies. By any means necessary. because we can't not live like this anymore. We can't live like this because it's what I'm seeing. If we don't change, it's just gonna be to our demise, because like for me, I mean, and I have to give Brother Bakari, I mean, honestly though, in the beginning, like I love my brother Bakari, he's a very straight shooter, and I don't have to criticize every single thing Brother Bakari have to say, but understand sometimes you have to take a while to understand what somebody's their attitude, their temperament and stuff like that. But for me, and I think Brother Focus, that's my guy. Brother Kari, you're my guy. And then like Jose, I just, started to know you. And then Light, is it Ben? Light, I'm sorry. I can't see. I mean, okay. I mean, Miss Light. But anyways, I've got nothing but love for you guys as well, too, because we're on the panel. It's like we have to do better. We have to hold each other accountable, you know? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Brother
you're good.
Focus.
You're good, my brother. And
Mhm.
it's all starting to get late. I already know my brother, especially my brother Bakari. I'm sorry, my brother, to keep you up so late, my brother.
Yeah.
I was gonna show one more thing. Y'all can comment on it. If not, this was gonna be my closing thing. But speaking of propaganda, I just want to show y'all something, and tell me what y'all think about what kind of propaganda.
Today, where he'll honor the officers killed in last week's ambush. He'll pay tribute to Lauren Aherns, Michael Kroll, Brent Thompson, and Patrico Znamaripa. The president is set to speak at a memorial service along with former president and Texas native George W. Bush. More than 1,000 people gathered at Dallas City Hall last night to honor the fallen heroes. And this comes after the parents of Micah Johnson, the man who killed the 5 police officers, spoke out for the first time.
I don't know what to say to anybody to make anything better. I didn't see it coming.
He was a good son. He was a good son.
I love my son with all my heart. I hate what he did.
Did he ever talk about any of his experiences in the military that maybe made you question, did something happen? Was it the war? Or?
I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything about it. The military was not what Micah thought it would be.
It disappointed him.
He was very disappointed, very disappointed. But it may be that the ideal that he thought of our government, of what he thought the military represented, it just didn't live up to his expectation.
Manuel Bojorquez.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that. Hey Bakari, how you feel about that brother Michael Johnson?
Hero. Damn hero. Remember I did he was part of my Black History Month. Him, Gavin Long, Christopher Dorner. They were part of my Black History. Hero. That's what he was, a damn hero.
Oh well, any of y'all got anything to say? Then after that, we're gonna give everybody a chance to close out.
I'm gonna have to agree with Brother Bakari because the reason being is because he sees a lot of things. If you pay attention to what his mom is saying, though, he was disappointed. The military was not what he thought it would. I don't know, it would be and stuff like that. And there's a lot of racism. There's a lot of crazy things that goes on. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Brother Bakari.
All right, any of y'all got anything else to say about it? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna close out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Library.
Yeah, I agree. I agreed with Bakari on that one. I related to the young man in a way. Been disappointed in the military, that it wasn't what you thought it was, and all the lies they tell you and the manipulation to get you in there. And then your eye opens to the world that it's not what you thought it was. It's not what you were told it was. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But also, you know, when I mentioned earlier that they for so long have been allowed to do propaganda without getting called on it. I think the point that we're calling out propaganda is power in itself, because it's letting them know it doesn't work anymore. It's bringing down something, a tool that they use in part of their tool they use in war. So sometimes knowing the other side's plans ahead of what they think you should know is powerful in itself. You know,
Yeah.
reading them, knowing their moves.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. All right, so we're gonna close out and give everybody their last argument. Hey Bakari, you good, my brother? Cause it's on you. Like it's either like you go, if you gotta go, I'm gonna go with you first. If not, then I'm gonna do the reverse.
You can do the reverse.
All right, so we're gonna
It's
go
been
reverse.
raining. I can't haul mud.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna go on reverse by who came on. So Pelez, you came on last, then Lightbearer, Lightbearer came on after that, and then JB and then Bakari.
All right. Well, guys, I like what we're doing. These lives, this panel, I believe is important for us to talk about our differences, and eventually we're gonna get to together at the table and and talk in private. Um, I believe we need to stay vigilant and don't get discouraged. Um, I yeah, well, like I said though, we are the mothers and fathers of civilizations. We are genius, and we have to understand that some of our people, we have to be extra patient with them. We have to understand that something happened to us, you know, like what they've done to us, Jim Crow's Tuskegee experiment, and just constant genocide, poisoning in our water. Um, I just want us to always, love our people, but we might not be able to like save everybody. But I have love for my people. I appreciate everything, and I have much love for y'all.
Yo, thanks, Pelez. I appreciate you, my brother. Lightbearer, and thank you for coming
Yeah.
on, Lightbearer too. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Forecast, for having me. I always see you in my chat. So thank you guys. Thank you for everything and having me upon this panel. It's been a pleasure to get to know and speak with Pledge and Jose. I hope I'm saying it right. And Bakari and Forecast. Thank you. And of course the good old chat. Friends out there.
All right, yeah, thank you, Lightbearer. JB.
Yes. Good morning. It's 6:30 in here. I'm ready to step into the shower. I love this session. Because the various we've touched various assets of pride, of self consciousness. You don't have to mention it, but we touched this session was rich. This session was rich. I believe all of us are after this, after closing, I believe all of us are going to marinate. You know, I have sufficient. I received sufficient material, food for the soul, food for the brain, and I hope yeah, everyone that sees this session also. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for their contribution. I'm very satisfied with this session, brother Forecast. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, JB, for coming on. It's 12:30 here, 12 after midnight. So yeah, thank you for coming on, my brother. And no, yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation with so many different people from so many different places. Oh man, that's what I forgot to say before we closed out. But I'll say it when I go. But yeah, go ahead, Bakari. Yeah, Bakari.
All right. Hey, Jose, I found that video. I found some videos about the Chechnyans. So is that Czechoslovakia, the Chechnyans? I don't know. Is that Czechoslovakia, Jose?
No, Czechoslovakia is NATO now.
So who's
Chechenians are
Albanians?
on the east of the Caspian Sea. The Russians actually had a lot of problems with them, you know. But they are a warrior people, and they are not to be fucked with.
Yeah, I see they got 10,000 of their soldiers and joined the Russian army. I see what you were talking about. Well, look,
Yes.
Forecast, I thank you for letting me up here, man. Light Bear was good sharing the panel with you again. Pelage, Jose, and everybody in the chat. This your boy, Bakari. My channel is Brother Bakari. Check us out. Hey, Light Bear, I'm trying to set up a show. There's another guy gonna come on. We're gonna do a show about the military. And if you want to come on, you can come on. We're gonna talk about could any of the could the military benefit us? You know, we gonna
Yeah, always thinking about that. Our people, getting our people. So yeah, definitely shoot me an email.
I'll shoot it to you soon as he get time.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, hashtag Team Black, hashtag United We Win. This was an excellent show. I know I sound a little passionate. Don't take it personal. It's just the love I have for my people, and I'm willing to go out here and put it on the line.
And also, Bakari, always think we are never defeated. We are never defeated people at all. It may look bad sometimes, but we're not defeated. I don't think that.
Oh, I don't think we defeated either. I just want to, you know what? Don't let my frustrations and everything I have with me boil over to nobody else. It's just been my whole life, everything about that. It's just been a little different for me, and I'm just tired.
No.
I was actually raised in a house with
Mhm.
civil rights leader who the Klan burned a cross in the yard, who
Yeah.
white folks tried to kill on a few occasions, who I can show you the paperwork where the government followed him from 1967 to his death in 1986. So it's my passion gonna be a little different.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I feel it. I feel it. I can relate to it. I just maybe I'm a little bit more calmer and smoother about things and want to do things a certain way, just to make sure that I don't follow them and fail with like they're failing, doing the same thing that we think they're winning at and they're not really winning, you know.
All right, so yeah,
If that
man.
makes any sense.
Oh yeah, you good, Library?
If that made any sense.
Oh yeah,
I'm half
absolutely.
asleep.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm about to get up off of here. Yo, I thank all of y'all, man. Pelez, JB, Lightbearer, Bakari. This was a great show. I appreciate it. And what I wanted to say earlier, hey, I think I got everybody channel, Bakari, but Yeah, I appreciate all of y'all for coming. And what I wanted to say earlier, because we need to start having like meetings in person. You know what I'm saying? So like if anybody's like serious, and let me put the emails and stuff in the chat real quick, because like, you know, I want y'all to email us if you interested in actually like meeting up, doing something in person. We'll come up with an idea together, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to start getting that across. So let me put and my email is in the description. Hey Bakar, you can put your email in there. So you can email that, or my email is I'm gonna put it in there. And Bakar, you can put your email in there, because I want to actually start meeting in person so we can have these discussions that, you know what I'm saying, we can't really have on here. And shout out to my brother Ben Uko. You know, he's trying to build his channel, you know what I'm saying? So we got to support this brother. And about the conversation, because it was a great conversation, you know what I'm saying? I agree with points that both people made, because we have to have tact, but also, you know what I'm saying, we have to train ourselves. You know, we are getting in a generation where, like, you know, it's the truth. Like, a lot of men aren't doing the men things that we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just speaking on men, and it goes the same with women, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. But it's up to women to do with women, and it's up to me to speak on men, you know what I'm saying? We don't have that warrior mindset, but also we have to start learning how to develop it. Like, we it's no different. It's no harm in us learning how to arm ourselves, defend ourselves, how to work a gun, how to grow our own food. It's no defense in any of that. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh, there's nothing wrong with doing any of that. So that's what we have to start realizing, that we don't have to do all of that other stuff for us to be. We don't need anybody else, you know what I'm saying? And then we get back in charge of our children's minds, but that's all of that takes one step at a time, and Rome wasn't built overnight. But you know, it's definitely power and propaganda, and us using our channels for not only propaganda, because the truth can be propaganda, but to get our people, because we should be mad that we don't control our food supply. We should be mad that the lands that we live on is not controlled by us. We should be mad that, you know what I'm saying, like, our parents are dying at young ages from diabetes and health problems because we don't even know our last names, to be honest with you. We sit here and argue about where we come from instead of actually getting on the world stage, working together, doing business together. You know what I'm saying? We want to escape who we are. And we should be mad about all of these things. And I talk about, you know what I'm saying, the police killings and all of this stuff that we talk about, because that's something that people got like work together on. It's almost like we have to see somebody getting choked out on the street to be mad about it. But us not being in control of our own resources should be the thing that we're pissed about, and that we're willing to work on it. And we have to take it step by step. You know what I'm saying? Like, support my brother Bakari's business, support what Pelege is doing, support JB, support Lightbearer. You know what I'm saying? Go subscribe to their page. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what they got to say. Start working together. And also about the war thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we aren't in a war until we get in that war. But we don't own our own plants to make bullets. And shouts out to the sister that Bakari knows, who's trying to get into that business. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a war until we get up in that war. But yeah, it does affect us, because like, yo, I went to the store. I haven't seen like dog food for my dog that I usually get in a month now. You know what I'm saying? The prices on everything. A dollar chip is like $2 now. Everything is way up. In the words of a wise brother, which is maybe over a lot of people's heads where we are, but I'm gonna still say it anyway, even though I shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we understand what we are in the right space to be at war, we will see this as an opportunity to exploit our enemies and make them fight each other and ultimately come out ahead. Like, in the words of my good brother, and I'm not gonna say his name, but my brother know who he is, and my brother Bakari know who he is, and everybody know who he is, but I ain't gonna say his name. But you have one group of people, and we have a lot of information, and we have a lot of stuff that we can offer. We can go to one person like on one side of this war and say, look, we have a lot of information. Now, if good old Sleepy Joe want to pay us to not speak, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to us to get in between their war. Like, this is a golden opportunity for us, you know what I'm saying, if we was only on that level. So, you
It
know what I'm saying?
is. I see what you're
Exactly.
saying.
The fact
And
that
I
the
think I
food.
know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that brother. And the fact that the stores is empty is a golden opportunity for us because guess what? We could be the person who fills that stores up for us. You know what I'm saying? It's not a
Right.
sign of it could be catastrophe. We could get wiped out, you know what I'm saying? Or we could
Mhm.
rise above it, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Light Bearer. I appreciate you, JB, Pelej, my brother Bakari. Y'all got any last words?
Yeah, it was a golden opportunity, and it's still a golden opportunity when this COVID stuff happened. And like you said, everything that's going on now, we just have to take our opportunities to put things forward for our communities.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bakari, Jose, y'all good?
I'm good.
All right. All right, man. Well, I appreciate y'all for listening. I'm about to get out of here, man. And thank y'all. And make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel. I'll probably have another premiere coming up. And y'all hit the emails if y'all want to meet up. You know what I'm saying? We'll come up with an idea whether y'all just want to have some food just to get to know each other and discuss this stuff in person so we can really say the stuff that we want to say and without having to worry about it. So y'all hit those emails up, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to make it happen before the spring. We can have a Zoom meeting on the call before we do any of this stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit up the emails, you know what I'm saying? And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something or we're gonna keep falling for anything.